family in need. It's very simple to enter. Go to dasmechanical.org. Click the 2026 HVAC System Donation tab and fill out a very short 6-question nomination form. That's dasmechanical.org. Click the 2026 HVAC System Donation tab and fill out the short form. DAS Mechanical, family owned and proudly serving our community for years. Nominate now at dasmechanical.org. That's dasmechanical.org.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Spring is here, so check your tires. When your vehicle needs the best, get Firestone Firehawks. They are built on years of racing heritage and are designed with the latest in tire technology. This month, save $100 on a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks. They provide the confidence and comfort you've come to expect from Firestone. Race into Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue, and find the set that's right for you. Whatever you drive a Firestone. Get them at Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Grant's back. Join the conversation every weekday afternoon beginning at 3 p.m. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento. Hello, Sacramento. Sacktown. And welcome in.
Grant Napear.
How you been? You know this guy.
It's your show.
So happy to hear you on the airwaves.
2+ decades on the radio with you.
Just the start of an incredible journey.
Now he's back on Fox Sports 104.7 FM and 890 AM.
3 to 6 every day, Fox Sports Sacramento.
The phone number?
916-779-0929.
His name? Grant Napear.
Good afternoon, everybody. Isn't it unbelievable how quickly things can change in a playoff series with a team that many people feel has a chance to go all the way in the San Antonio Spurs because of a fall, Victor Wembanyama concussion, and as we talk right now, we just don't know whether or not he's going to be available for Game 3 or Game 4 or how long this will take. The unknown right now with Victor Wembanyama has turned that series, now tied at a game apiece. I don't want to say upside down, but clearly has changed the landscape of the potential of that series after Portland was able to win last night. Your thoughts? 916-779-0929. The Lakers. No Luka Doncic. No Austin Reeves. And yet they have a 2-love lead over the Houston Rockets. And LeBron James, at his age, doing what he's doing is remarkable. The points, the rebounds, the assist, what he has been able to do is incredible. And I got to tell you, the game plan last night by the Lakers on the Rockets, they handcuffed, absolutely handcuffed Kevin Durant and the Rockets. Handcuffed him. 9 turnovers for Durant. 9. I got to tell you, I didn't think the Lakers were going to win a game this series. That was before I knew Durant wouldn't miss game 1. Or wouldn't play in game 1, excuse me. I absolutely, cannot believe the Lakers are up 2-0. It's amazing to me. Amazing to me. 101-94. I mean, think about this now. The LA Lakers defense and JJ Redick's game plan, I got to tell you, it's been masterful. It's been incredible. You hold the Rockets to 94 points and you force Durant into 9 turnovers and you handcuff him and you make him absolutely, I guess, average at best. He only took 12 shots and his teammates are not going to pick him up to the fashion that they need to. They can't even score 100 points. Now, you could make the argument the Lakers are better defensively without Doncic on the floor, but they're not a better team overall without Luka on the floor. They're 2 wins away from getting to the next round. And if you could get even Reeves back, which I guess the word is that he's closer to coming back than Luka, you never know. But I got to tell you, to see what LeBron James is doing at this point in his career, it's pretty incredible. 916-779-0929. To the baseball story. How about the Athletics? They've won games 1 and 2 up in Seattle. They're up 3-2, looking for the sweep in the matinee up in the Pacific Northwest as they go to the bottom of the 6th. They were in first place after that dreadful start of 1 and 5 and their brutal schedule. But they have really played well. They're getting the good pitching. They're getting the hitting when they need it. You know, in this game today, they put 2 runs in the first to set the tone, and they lead 3-2. You know, you're going to look back at games and series in a 162-game season, and you're going to look at the first inning, maybe, of the game last night in San Francisco, where the Giants had the bases loaded with no out in the bottom of the first against the Dodgers. A Giants team that's really gotten off to a terrible start. And think about what they did last night. They scored 3 times in the first. 3 times. And they hold up. And they beat the Dodgers. Okay? Now, I know it's only 1 game. But that's a big start to that series. And I love the way their approach to the game. Get on base, put pressure on the defense. Dodgers made an error. They scored 3, and they did the rest. It's a great start. Now, can they follow it up tonight? We'll see. But if you're a fan of the San Francisco Giants, you want to talk about big games. That last night was a big game in a regular season that starts at the end of March and goes until October. It's only 1, but boy, oh boy, if you're looking for a silver lining, if you're looking for a little confidence, you know, look at what the A's did. The A's limped into New York, and they won games 2 and 3 against the Yankees after losing the lead in the first game of that series. And then in the next 2 games, they held that lineup of New York to 1 run in 17 innings. And you may just look back at a season and go, you remember? You remember when the A's were in New York playing the Yankees and they lost the first game? And then that early April series, they held the Yankees to 1 run in 17 innings, and that turned things around? Okay. Maybe. You never know. It's a long season, but those right now are very pivotal games when you look at the momentum of the A's. So, baseball. A's are rolling. Giants with a big win. We can talk about that as well at 916-779-0929. All right, I saved the NFL draft for last. Tomorrow, finally. Okay? Finally. Thank you. The NFL draft. And we keep talking about this. We keep talking about where is Jeremiah Love going to go? That to me is the first round, the most interesting aspect of tomorrow's first hour or whatever. That is going to be the most interesting aspect. Does he go and surprise at 3? Does he go to Tennessee at 4? Would the Giants take him at 5, knowing that they've got a pick that they can use at 10 for another need? Does he fall to Washington at 7? I don't see how he gets past Washington at 7. And we keep talking about this guy out of Notre Dame because there are so many that feel he's the best talent in the draft, but he plays the running back position. Well, how did that work out for Philadelphia 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl? They had a running back by the name of Saquon Barkley, and he was the reason why they went to the Super Bowl and really won the Super Bowl. So, all right. It is, I guess, a term of devaluation that we hear, right? The running back position is devalued. The running back position is this. The running back position is that. Well, how did that work for Philadelphia? And Baltimore has had success, although not to a Super Bowl, with Derrick Henry. So I just think that we get caught up on words and we get caught up on, like, what's the fancy term of the decade? Oh, the running back position has been devalued in the NFL. It's a passing league. And look at what Kansas City and Andy Reid does. And they get running backs later in the draft. And they pick them up off the heap pile. And they go on to the field. And they end up being really good running backs. Okay, well, that is true. Okay, that has happened. You get a lot of value in running backs later in the draft. But Saquon Barkley's not just like any other running back. Saquon Barkley, and again, he was on a bad Giants team and with a bad offensive line. So I guess it goes back to this. I don't care how good you are. If you don't have a decent offensive line, you're going to be limited to what you're able to do at the running back position. Saquon Barkley was not limited in Philadelphia behind a really good offensive line. And Philadelphia's got a Super Bowl because of it. You really can't argue that. Now, do I think Jeremiah Love is Saquon Barkley? I got to tell you, Sean Salisbury yesterday, we talked about that comparison. We talked about that. So to me, Love and where he goes is going to be the most early interesting aspect of this draft. And I, as a Giants fan, think the Giants could go in 3 different directions here. I think they could go defense. I think they could go running back if he's on the board. And I think they could go wide receiver, although I would put that as the 3rd priority of the 3. All right? So, we've set the table for you. 916-779-0929. Ryan, I want to bring you in here. You thought last night, before the game began, you picked Portland to win that game, but you had no idea that Victor Wembanyama would go down in the second quarter. De'Aaron Fox, okay, disappeared.
Yeah.
As we just get from a viewer on our YouTube channel and others. He's got to do better in crunch time than he did last night.
I'll tell you what, Portland, and I thought NBC did a great job of showing before Wemby went out, Drew Holiday battling with him, right? And they were able to deploy those guys with Wemby off the court onto Fox, onto Castle, and they locked him down. De'Aaron has to do better. I mean, he's being paid the big bucks. He's perfect in that 1A role or 1B, whatever you want to call it. But right now, if Wemby's not on the court, he's the go-to guy.
Yeah. If Victor Wembanyama were to miss, let's just say 2 games, forget about the whole series. Ryan, I think that is a difference to change the outcome of this series because Portland is not chopped liver. And I am not picking them still to win. But if Victor Wembanyama does not play in games 3 and 4, and again, I have no idea. And if Portland were able to win both those games, I don't think San Antonio comes back and wins this series. And how huge of an upset would that be? I really believe that. Let's get to some phone calls right here. And Big Al. Hello, Big Al. How are you?
Mr. Grant Napear, always a pleasure. Thank you very much. Now,
Thank you.
Preaching the gospel of your hockey. Grant, I had to watch some. I watched a kind of a team I always like, the Kings and Avalanche. What a game. What an end. That was a fabulous hockey game. Oh,
yes.
It was so exciting.
Yes. I got to tell you, I watched 2 hockey games last night, and I just can't get enough of them. I just love it. It is so riveting to me, and the quality of play and the competitiveness, it's amazing to me. And just the energy and all the buildings, and I love it. I think it's the best. I look forward to it every spring as much as any time during the year. The only part of the time of the year, Al, that I really look forward to more is Labor Day weekend because it's really the start of football season. And I just don't think there's a better time than that. You got the pennant races, the start of football. You've got, if you're a tennis fan, the U.S. Open going on. I love that time of the year. But, boy, it's hard to beat April. When you think about this, Al, you got the NCAA basketball tournaments, the men and the women. It rolls right into the Masters with the first week of opening day going on. And then you've got the NBA and NHL playoffs. This is a great time of year for a sports fan.
Yeah, I'm in the latter camp, but again, football rules. I mean, you make that clear. That's obvious, and I have nothing against it, but I do love this time. Going from the NCAAs, the March Madness. Again, you're right. The Masters, even before the Masters too. You have the PPC Sawgrass event there now, and then of course basketball playoffs get kind of rolling. So both are great. Now, so I love that, and Grant. I don't know. You're a semi-purist, maybe you're a purist hockey, but I mean that Utah team. I mean, just the name and everything. I kind of found myself lost. But what it reminded me of, being so good, wasn't that true of Las Vegas? I mean, they became great in 2-3 years, coming out and just picking up guys off the.
No, they became great in their first year. They went to the Stanley Cup Finals their first year. They were great immediately. They won the West and went to the finals in their first year.
And that was all because, right? Tell me, this was because the concept of the expansion and how players who could go, how many they could do it. They picked up some quality player. Okay, so that's different. I mean, that never would have happened, 20 years ago and plus. Yeah, that wouldn't. But it's exciting. And hockey, you went through all the dynamics of viewership and such, but it's exciting and have some different names and such. Now, as to the draft, because let's face it, it is a 3-day event. I think, Grant, I looked it up. I could be a little off on this, but I think that the NFL draft over the course of, for sure, day 1, but 2 and 3, I think it is in the top 10, maybe the top 5 of all sporting entertainment events for the whole year in viewership.
Really? See, I'm just the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm just the opposite. I find the NFL draft to be one of the most boring days of the year, even though it's a 3-day deal. I find it to be, after the first few picks, I have no interest in it. I very often will turn it off. It goes to a process where, and I love college football, Big Al, and I watch a lot of it, but I don't know who's going. I don't know the names that are going to be going on Friday in the second and third round. I mean, I do some of them, but like, it doesn't mean anything to me because I've learned over the years, just like you have, it doesn't really matter who you draft. I'm a New York Giants fan. The reason why they've been so bad since they won the Super Bowl in 2011 is they drafted so poorly, even though they've been at the top of the draft. So, like, this doesn't mean anything to me. Like, we're going to see grades on Friday, first-round draft grades, and I think they're the stupidest thing in the world. Nobody knows how these players are going to do, including Fernando Mendoza. Nobody knows, okay? There are busts every year in NFL and NBA drafts. And so, like, what does it all mean to me? Okay, am I going to be excited if the Giants draft this guy or that guy? Well, maybe on paper I will, but what does it mean? I mean, they drafted Kayvon Thibodeau at number 5 and Evan Neal at number 7 4 years ago, and both have been underachievers, and Neal can't even get on the field to play, and Thibodeau, to me, is underrated. So, like, I was excited back then, but what did it mean? It didn't mean anything because they were underachieving draft picks.
Yes, Mr. Napier, you're preaching the gospel. Listen, we're a couple of dinosaurs, though. See, I only saying from viewerships. That's all my point was, Grant. I'm telling you, and it's marketing. It's like all the thing you said about the stupid halftime show, which I'm totally on board with. This has become more for young, and of course, not just us sitting in our delicious room, cable and such. The kids, they're watching on their phones and stuff.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not a big deal, Al. I'm just saying for me, and I think, you called me a dinosaur, which is fine, and like yourself, but I just like, what does it mean? In other words, am I supposed to know all the players that are being drafted because it's my profession? Like, I don't know the left guard for this team out of Iowa that might be going in round 2 or 3. I couldn't tell you anything about them. And what am I going to tell you anyway? Like, what, like, is that interesting? It's interesting to me where Jeremiah Love's going to go and the wide receivers and a couple of the big-time edge rushers. And after that, to me, they're a dime a dozen, and I really mean that.
No, I agree. It's for those two that, like, and I don't want to get into it more. I'll let your other callers, but, like I did fantasy football, and it's like you get to be a little GM and say, oh, I wouldn't have done this and that. For those who are really into it, and I'm totally with you on your side. I am. I just find it entertaining. I love, maybe this is a guilty pleasure. I'm wrong. I love to see some of the family members and the reactions when they come walking across. And, of course, Goodell, oh, my God. There's a reason he makes the kind of money he makes. Yeah. What a show.
Hey, Al, I want to ask you this. What does it say about the NFL and the draft process that only 16 draftees are going to be in Pittsburgh for the first round? Only 16 are going.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's them this time or also if some were invited. Maybe they cap down what they want to expect.
No. They're all invited. No. They're all invited.
Okay, they're invited. So but you're saying that only 16 have accepted
16,
the invite,
that's
correct?
right.
Is that what
16 of the projected.
Well,
16, again, I shouldn't say they're all first-round picks, but 16 players that feel like their name's going to be called tomorrow are going to be in Pittsburgh. The rest are going to be at home with families and friends, blah, blah, blah. Yes.
Right. Well, now here we go, because you're not into it. You know, though, because there have been some years, many years back, but the local guy, the guy that nobody can believe, why aren't you not signed with Pittsburgh? Aaron Rodgers, not picked right away, sat there for quite a long time. And it was
but how often does that happen, Al? How often does that happen?
No, not that often. I mean, last year, right, it was the whole Shedeur Sanders thing. That was whatever.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so it could. I just think, Grant, it could be some of that. And besides, I mean, let's say we were the fathers of our sons going to play and stuff. Do you need to have to really go back and walk across the stage and do that? And let's say you're pretty darn confident, your agent is pretty confident you're going to make the top 10 to 15. Why drag yourself through that for a walk across the stage like a piece of meat, which frankly they are. That's the truth. That's what they are.
Yeah.
So I can get that. It's just not the same as it was in a different era, maybe 20 something years ago. But it's for me, it's the things you said are right. For me, I love to watch, and I don't want to be any disparaging here, but I love to watch as they walk across and they shoot, and you see. Hopefully, mom and dad, but we know it's not always mom and dad.
Well, hang on a minute. Ryan, you want to jump in on this?
Yeah, I do. It's simple. It's Pittsburgh. Who wants to go to Pittsburgh? Why not have the draft in Fresno, Bakersfield? Do you want the draft? Who's going to Pittsburgh? It's not New York. It's not Vegas. It's not Lambeau.
Grant, you gotta keep beating on Rhino. He needs to go back to Pittsburgh and see a Penguins game.
Yeah, I know, but I know, but you know what? When you go to the game and you go back to the hotel and you wake up in the morning, you're still in Pittsburgh. Okay, that's the difference.
Oh, ouch. Okay, I got it. Okay,
Take care.
Thank you very much. We'll see. It'll be fun. I'll definitely call you. I want to find out. I mean, my team. Well, it's not my team anymore, Grant. This is sad. You know, I'm an Aztec. I went to San Diego. Love the Chargers. Love the Eric Coralba. And not old man Spanos, but his son. When they moved out to get the big bootsy, their team, I get it, get the bootsy, more revenue the luxury boxes. I was done with them. I said, you can't be moving the great San Diego Chargers AFL initial team up to Los Angeles. That was garbage.
Yep.
So
I'm with you.
I have a team. Yeah. That's it. So we'll see. There are some interesting stories of people that could be in the draft. I'm interested to find out.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to find out, okay, like what you said, Grant, let's go year 1, 2, 3. 3 years from now, who that gets picked anywhere in the first round, might end up being a buck. Yep.
Al, my show's almost over. I got to let you go. Take care.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We'll be right back. This is Fox Sports Sacramento.
This is Kurt Bagelman. Does your business need more customers? If you said no, congratulations. If you said yes, then you need to consider advertising your products and services. People need to know you exist, and then why your business is worth considering to spend their money with. You also need to advertise to the right audience. For example, Sports Talk listeners have disposable income. They own homes, they're employed, and they earn six-figure incomes. And importantly, Sports Talk listeners listen longer, so your advertising message has more opportunity to be heard. Does your business need more customers? If the answer is yes, then give me a call to schedule a conversation. We'll discuss your objectives, talk about potential strategies, and also determine if Fox Sports Radio is a good station for you to consider. Call me, 916-779-0914. Radio gets results, and we are here to help. Call 916-779-0914.
Investors, keep listening to learn how to get your free gold report. A currency crisis is upon us. The U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency for over 50 years, but that is changing. It's time to protect your retirement. Decades of reckless borrowing and spending have critically weakened the dollar. The U.S. has become the world's biggest debtor with over $35 trillion in debt. Plus, the dollar's become weaponized. Countries are dumping it. Investors who wait until it's too late could lose big. There is one safe haven: gold. Diversify your portfolio with a physical asset they can't take away. Call the Reagan Gold Group right now and ask for your free gold guide. Here's our number.
800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. That's 800-941-4184.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
916-779-0929. All right, Rhino. Bold prediction of the day.
Already?
Yes. The San Antonio Spurs are going to win this first round series.
Yes.
Okay. Part B of that question. I don't have a crystal ball, but my crystal ball that I do have is telling me that Wembanyama is going to miss the next 2 games.
You think it'll be 2?
I do, but I'm purely speculating, and I'm doing it more for sake of conversation in a what if, because we now have to start sentences with what if. What if Wembanyama does not play in games 3 and 4? Are the Spurs deep enough? Are they good enough to go on the road and overcome that against a pesky Portland team?
It's a great question. It's when you wish you would still have a Luke Kennard on your roster if you're San Antonio. Yeah, I think they are okay. I think it will go 7. They're going to have to readjust their approach without him because they're just a different team when you don't have him on the court. But no, I think they'll be all right. You?
Okay. I think they'll figure out a way to win one of the next 2 games. I think they're too deep. I think they're too talented. And I would also say this. If Wembanyama cannot play, and I know they have Castle, and I know they have some other really good players, De'Aaron Fox needs to play in Portland the way he did 3 years ago in the playoff series against Golden State before he broke his finger.
You're spot on. San Antonio can't. It's a brilliant point because you can't play the half-court game that you were playing with Wemby. They've got to get up and down more because now you're playing into the Blazers' hands if you want to go into the half-court because they will grind you down, and that starts with De'Aaron Fox. 17's not enough last night, and I don't know how Mitch Johnson's going to work that, but it's got to be a two-headed monster between him and Steph Castle when it comes to distribution as well.
Yeah. What about the Lakers? Are you as blown away with their game plan and their execution of their game plan defensively as I was last night, and the fact that they're now up 2-love? I didn't think they were going to win a game in the series without Reeves and without Luka.
They believe. JJ Redick has them on the same page. You have guys that are getting tick, that are showing out. This is the time that you can really make your money. Whereas you talk about the last 15 games of a season, don't put too much into how younger guys play. Put a lot more into how these other guys play when the pressure's on the line. A couple things last night. I mean, LeBron getting to the free throw line 14 times. The Rockets only got there 19 as a team. And you win that basketball game taking 17 less shots than the Rockets as well. So they are playing to a style that JJ has identified, and it's really impressive. And quite frankly, for Ime Udoka, I don't know how this team is showing up the way that they're showing up. This is the opposite of this guy's style.
Yeah, Ime Udoka is a tremendous coach, and I'm very surprised at their performance and the way they've played in games 1 and 2. How about Philadelphia? I think of all of the games, that surprised me the most. I didn't expect them to go and beat Boston the way they did, and they manhandled them.
It was the story of the 3-ball. When Boston shoots the amount of threes that they do, that they rely on, Boston did not make theirs. Philly hit theirs. So that's the ball game, and you are going to have some of those nights with Boston. That's why it's hard for me to project any sweep with them. Because they're so heavily reliant on the triple.
So I'm going to ask you this question because I was texting with my good buddy George McPhee after game 1, not after last night's game between Vegas and Utah. He's the president of hockey operations. And he said to me after game 1, he goes, "This league is freaking good." And I sent a message back to him and I said, "Sure is, so balanced." And I think when you get rid of all of the bad teams in the NBA right now, and you look at the teams that are in the playoffs, you know what? The league's pretty balanced right now. All right? even though you had Oklahoma City with the number 1 seed winning in the mid 60s,
Yeah.
they lost 4 or 5 games to San Antonio this year,
Yeah.
right? In the East, we could see Boston winning it. We could see the Knicks winning it. We could see Cleveland. How about Orlando, a team that we expected, or at least I did, Ryan, to be really good all year? What they did to Detroit on 1-day rest to go up there and go to the Motor City and do that, you know what? The league's pretty balanced right now. And I don't think you have, even though the record might tell you otherwise, you don't have any unbeatable teams in the league right now. Even Oklahoma City, as evidenced by the fact that they lost 4 or 5 during the regular season of San Antonio. Boston has holes in it, like we saw. And then you have a wild card like Cleveland. Could Harden finally figure it out with that talent and sneak through in the East? It is a pretty balanced league right now with the playoff teams.
It's a very balanced league, and it's not necessarily akin to what the NFL was this year, but balance is the perfect word because many of those guys that we've talked about struggling in the playoffs, and Durant, he does not fall into this category because he is struggling as well. But James Harden, who you brought up, he now does not have all the pressure on him. He's got Donovan Mitchell next to him. A lot of these other players have the right complements. Victor Wembanyama has a De'Aaron Fox next to him. And it makes it more exciting, but it also makes it more frustrating if you're Adam Silver because these guys just flip a switch and it's must watch. It's undeniable. But then 82 games a year, it's just like, whatever.
Okay, so of the series that are tied 1-1, or in the case of Orlando, as they get ready to take on a game 2, because we talked about this, I think, 24 hours ago. You asked me which of the 3 teams that I think had the best chance of winning yesterday, and you said you like Portland, and you were right on that, although we didn't know that Wembanyama was going to get hurt.
Yeah.
As you look at where things stand right now, with the Lakers up even 2-0 and the other series tied at 1-1, and Orlando and Detroit, they're going to be playing here in a little bit. Olden Polynice, by the way, is going to be coming on here in just a little bit, in about 25 minutes. Which of these teams, let's just call them the road teams for right now, do you think's got a best chance of stealing this first round?
Man, it's a great question. I'm really split because of the Wemby situation.
Yeah.
Between, if Wemby was not injured, Portland wouldn't be in the conversation. But I actually think after watching 2 games of what Orlando has done defensively, I think Orlando could ruffle the feathers of Detroit. I mean, they locked them up, and Cade Cunningham is, still ramping back up from his injury. Keep an eye on them. Jamal Mosley pulls the NCAA highlights out of his back pocket and shows it to his players. And look, they've turned a switch. And Grant, it's all about getting hot at the right time. And defense translates no matter who you play.
Can you imagine if they were to go in there and win both games in Detroit?
Be quite the statement.
We'll make a statement with Olden Polynice at 4 because he's going to have a lot of things to say. Can't wait for that conversation. 916-779-0929, Village Financial Group. And I've been talking about Spencer and this family-owned local real estate business, Village Financial Group. Spence is so good at what he does. First of all, he's a great person. I've known him for 26 years now when they opened up their business. And we talk about a boutique-type shop, a white glove service. That's what I look at with the Village Financial Group and Spence, taking you from the start line to the finish line and everything in between. Buying a home, selling a home, yes. Home equity lines of credit, anything to do with real estate. That's what Spence is going to be able to accomplish with you, make you very, very happy. And he is a creative financing specialist and has access to private money. Call or text him, 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. You can go online as well, bfgloans.com. Check out everything that they can offer, plus thousands of available listings ready for purchase. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Remember, Olden Polonese at the start of hour number 2 right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Who still listens to the radio?
I'll tell you who. People who trust the comforting voices of our community. The Accident Guys have been proudly serving our community for over a decade.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the Accident Guys.
Hey, folks, are you or do you know a veteran or family in need of a heating or air conditioning unit? I've got awesome news because DAS Mechanical is giving back by donating one to a veteran or family in need. Owner Nick Delancey and his family, hey, they're always looking to give back to the community, and they're excited to help out a veteran or family in need. Just go to dasmechanical.org and nominate yourself or, hey, someone you know to receive one. And yes, it comes with installation. It's very simple to enter. Go to dasmechanical.org, click the 2026 HVAC system donation tab. Fill out a very short 6-question nomination form. Nominate now at dasmechanical.org. DAS Mechanical, family-owned, locally-owned, HVAC experts, serving Sacramento for years. For all of your HVAC needs, DAS will exceed your expectations. Once again, that's dasmechanical.org.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Out here in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. And sometimes, that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Trouble sleeping, your mind racing. So what do? We get help. There are people in our community who are here for us. Sometimes, just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Seattle is taking the lead against the A's, trying to salvage one game of this 3-game set in the 8th inning. Giants and Dodgers, game 2 of their series. The hockey playoffs in full swing. Some tremendous games again last night. The NBA playoffs, and how big of a game is this in Motown with the year that they had? This is pretty much a must-win game. You just don't lose 2 games on your home floor and come back and win. And that's what the Pistons are facing tonight. This is huge. an absolutely huge game that's going to be tipping off here at 4 o'clock, and then Phoenix and Oklahoma City. Ryan, you were telling me something earlier, and I want to make sure I heard this correctly. That you were telling me the point spread of the Phoenix Oklahoma City game of being over 16 points. Is that accurate?
17 and a half.
17 and a half. Do you recall a game one or let me backtrack. Do you recall any playoff game in recent memory with a 17 and a half point spread?
Playoff? No.
Yeah, playoff.
Playoffs? No, not playoffs. We've seen, in fact, 17 and a half was near the top of the list for the Kings in some games this season. So to see that many points in a 7-game series, I don't care who you are. That is a ton of points.
Do you think that's because it's Phoenix's first time with this group in the playoffs and they're going against the defending champs? And I mean, or do you think it is based on matchups? Do you think it's based? Okay.
It's matchups.
Okay.
They
what do
do
you
not
think is the
match
most
up well.
problematic? Obviously, we know about SGA. What do you think is going to be the biggest issue for the Phoenix Suns in this series?
It's the size of Oklahoma City. I mean, what does Phoenix do with Chet Holmgren?
Yeah.
You know, that's a problem right there. And then you throw Jalen Williams on the wing. Lou Dort basically negates what you have in Dylan Brooks, right? So it's just a really, really, it's a hard matchup for any team, but Phoenix in particular, just difficult.
So the other aspect of this, we tie it into the Sacramento Kings. We talked in the last segment about Portland, and we're talking about Phoenix as a winner of the play-in that gets into the 8th seed. Both these teams have gone past Sacramento. We understand the Kings had a lot of injuries, and we're aware of that. But that also makes this next period of time for the Kings so important because they've run out of opportunities to really fix their team with draft picks at the top of the draft. And I know they got Max Reynaud at number 42, but that's few and far between. That doesn't happen every year.
Yeah.
There is, when you look at Oklahoma City and you look at San Antonio at the top, and then you look at the teams that last year were behind Sacramento that are now firmly ahead of Sacramento and everything in between, I think the Warriors are going to drop off. So, I mean, there are teams like, I think the Clippers go in that direction. They go south. But you absolutely have to hit a home run. You cannot have a double in this draft. You cannot have a triple in this draft. And that's without even knowing where the Kings are selecting, whether it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. You've got to hit a home run in this draft. When you look at the teams that they're competing against in the West and you try to build the team for the future, they cannot make a mistake here.
No, and whoever it is, I know Jerry Reynolds says you should never hand out playing time. It needs to be earned, but they've got to be able to have a lot of runway in front of them and get familiar. And I mean, you look at this thing on paper, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It is for the fans, but it's not a bad thing with the Kings having the salaries that are supposed to come off the books next year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe ending up in a similar spot where you can get a couple of back-to-back years in the lottery, and that gives you a little bit room to refresh, season some of your younger guys. Hopefully you get a Keegan Murray that steps up. Maybe you get some new pieces from a Domantas Sabonis trade, and now you're ready to maybe make a run at, say, a Portland, make a run at a Phoenix, and look at that play-in as a realistic
goal. The other
goal.
thing that's also factoring into this is we're probably going to have a new lottery system for next year, which could impact the Kings and other teams like the Kings. So keep that in mind. That's the unknown as we head into next season, because I'm projecting the Kings already to be a lottery team without even knowing what they're going to do. Maybe that's premature of me, but that's what I'm doing here on the 22nd of April. It could be very interesting to see what changes there are to the lottery, because there are going to be changes.
Well,
we do know.
One of the options included teams not being in the lottery in back-to-back years. You better hope that's not it. If that does change,
I don't think you can do that.
I don't think you can either. especially with the injuries and whatnot that have been going on.
You can't. I don't think you can do that.
I get a feeling that so long as this team sticks to what it's selling to the fan base, that, we're really going to play the young guys, build around the young guys. And I know you don't think that's a big group, but it's a little bit of a bigger group of young guys than some teams have. As long as they continue to get the runway, I think this fan base will be a little bit more patient. But if you start playing Westbrook 40 minutes a night,
oh boy,
it's going to be.
He shouldn't even be on the team.
I'm not saying he's going to be on the team. I thought that Scott Perry handled that well at the press conference. Both him and Doug said they need a point guard. Russ says he wants to be back. No commitments to that. But you just can't go in that direction. You've got to fully embrace this young push, whatever it's going to be.
916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. Don't forget Olden Polynace is going to be coming up here in a little bit. And tomorrow, the NFL draft. All right. I'm going to ask you an NFL question because you're pretty good at this stuff. When the Washington Commanders are on the clock, assuming there's not a trade made with them at number 7, will Jeremiah Love still be on the board?
No.
Okay.
He's going to be gone. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If the Giants are not in the Jeremiah Love market and there's a team that's drafting a couple picks behind you, you would not even think about it?
The Giants are a team that, in my opinion, needs impact players. And based on all of the individuals that cover the NFL draft, and again, I don't want to be speaking out of the both sides of my mouth because I just said earlier in this hour with Al and with Sean Salisbury yesterday, there are mistakes that are made every year in the draft. But the Giants, to me, are one of the interesting teams in the NFL right now because I think they have their quarterback of the future, and they've got a standout wide receiver coming back off injury in Malik Neighbors. And I believe there are some real impact caliber defensive players in this draft. And I don't think you can afford to miss on one of those guys if you're the Giants.
Okay.
And the Giants throughout the decades in their history have always built their team around defense.
Great point.
And I don't think you move down and lose the opportunity to draft one of those, what I think there's a group of 3 or 4 defensive players that I look at as possible impact players. Now, I say that and look at what happened last year with Abdul Carter, and, he's been disappointing until the end of the season coming out of Penn State, right?
Is it as much in his head, Grant, as
but
it is
I
in
don't
his
care
play?
what the reason is.
No, I know. I'm just asking you, in your opinion, as a Giants fan.
I think the biggest mistake he made was asking for number 56. And I think that when you come in as a rookie and you're asking to wear the greatest defensive player in the history of the Giants, and in my opinion of the league, I just don't think that goes over well. It's like you should be focused on helping your team win, not what jersey number you're going to wear, okay? And he's switching his jersey number again this year. I can't even remember what he's wearing. But, again, I go back to there's nothing that is such a sure thing. Because he went to Penn State, Ryan, people were comparing him to Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, same position, Penn State, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's far from being Micah Parsons.
Yeah. But it's a small sample size. That's the thing.
Yeah. But so back to your question is, if I'm the Giants, I'm not trading down out of the 5th pick. I'm not.
The reason that I think Jeremiah Love is going to be gone is you look at some of the best offenses in the NFL, especially last year. I'm going to point out the Seahawks. What was the one thing most of them had? It was balance. And if Jeremiah Love can bring your team balance, I just think that's so important on the offensive side of the ball in the NFL right now.
If the Giants draft Jeremiah Love, assuming that he's still there, I'm going to be fine with that for this reason. They still have a pick 5 after that at number 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't be upset if they take Jeremiah Love, who many people think is the best prospect in the draft. Like, I can't say, gee, what are they doing? Like, you can't say that.
But do you worry about them mishandling him like they did Saquon?
Not with John Harbaugh, no.
Okay.
No, I don't. And I don't think they mishandled Saquon. I just think they were on a team that had a bad offensive line. I don't think they mishandled Saquon at all. Now, maybe when they lost him to Philadelphia,
right,
and that happened to be on camera because of the HBO and Hard Knocks and all of that, maybe it looked bad. I don't think they handled Saquon. And just so you know, I would have done the same thing if I'm the Giants. Why would I want to invest in Saquon Barkley when I'm not going to win anyway? I had Saquon and I lost. I didn't win with Saquon, and I'm not going to pay him to, win 2 extra games. Like, it didn't make sense to me.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. The NFL is a dynamic here, Ryan, that I don't still think a lot of fans understand. You make hard like Dexter Lawrence. That's a hard decision.
Mm-hmm.
But you only have literally so much money to spend. That's why you see players restructuring their contracts, and you see good players that are waived and released and sent away every year in the NFL. And you're like, what's going on? Well, it's because of the salary cap.
And then you see 40-year-old quarterbacks that think they're the best quarterback still in the league, and
oh my God,
just keep teams.
I'm so tired. Listen, I'm so tired of
string.
Aaron Rodgers' name and what, and the Steelers this and the Steelers that. I'm with you on that. Either play or don't play, right? It's a joke. And you're right. He has surpassed Brett Favre as the quarterback diva. I'm playing, I'm not playing, I'm playing, I'm not playing. He's past that. He's now in the driver's seat.
You know the difference? Except nobody cares anymore with him. People cared with Brett Favre.
Yes. Spot on. Hey, don't forget Olden Polynice coming up in a couple of moments. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about with OP. And what's going to happen with Victor Wembanyama? Who knows? Does anyone know? A's have tied the game up against the Mariners, 4-4. Great job by the A's so far. Already winning games 1 and 2 up there against the disappointing Mariners. Very disappointing. They're off to a bad start. We're off to a good start, or at least I think we are. You be the judge of that. Olden Polynice. Boy, he's a lot of fun to talk to each and every week. That's going to be coming up next. And then we've got Grant's Rant at 5 o'clock. I'll be on YouTube tonight at 7. We had a lot of fun last night, keeping a track of all the games going on in crunch time. It was fun. We'll do it again tonight at 7. Grant Napear coming back on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Spring is here, so check your tires. When your vehicle needs the best, get Firestone Firehawks. They are built on years of racing heritage and are designed with the latest in tire technology. This month, save $100 on a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks. They provide the confidence and comfort you've come to expect from Firestone. Race into Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue, and find the set that's right for you. Whatever you drive a Firestone. Get them at Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrud's.com.
Have you ever tried to buy gold and silver and felt like you were talking to a used car salesman? That's because the precious metals industry is like the Wild West. Salesmen can say pretty much anything or make any promise they want without repercussion. But Genesis Gold Group is different. They're a faith-driven Christian precious metals company and believe in educating their customers, not pressuring them for a quick sale. Genesis Gold Group focuses on customer service, not sleazy marketing. Genesis Gold Group is named after the first book of the Bible for a reason. Proper stewardship of wealth is their specialty. Find out why they've earned a 5 out of 5 rating through the Better Business Bureau and how they can help you secure your wealth or retirement through physical precious metals. Call right now to learn more.
800-497-8464. 800-497-8464. 800-497-8464. That's 800-497-8464.
A personal question. Have you ever wiped with a piece of dry, single-ply toilet paper and wondered, is this as good as it gets? Well, it's not. It's a whole lot better thanks to the wet, extra-large cleaning power of Dude Wipes. They comfortably clean up whatever toilet paper leaves behind. You can make the trade of the season. Switch from toilet paper and start experiencing the confident clean of Dude Wipes. Available at Amazon and at major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes, best clean, hands down.
The voice of Sacramento sports is back.
Hear Grant Napear every weekday beginning at 3 right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
All right, we're trying to get a hold of OP, so as soon as we do, we'll get him on. 916-779-0929. Again, 2 games tonight in the association in the playoffs. Orlando trying to go up 2-0 on Detroit in the Motor City, and Phoenix in Oklahoma City. All right? And again, you talk about like point spread, 17.5 point spread. Really? Wow. Incredible. All right. We do have Olden Polynice each and every Wednesday right here on Fox Sports Sacramento. OP, how are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
I am doing very well. If Victor Wembanyama were to miss, let's just say 2 games in this series, with games 3 and 4 up in Portland, we don't know yet, OP. Would you give the Blazers a realistic chance to win this series?
Oh, definitely. And that's the beauty of the playoffs. Anything can happen. We saw Orlando get one from Detroit. We saw Boston lose. So it can happen. Again, the playoffs, unfortunately, for the NBA and all its teams are about matchups. You get the right matchups, you can advance. You get the wrong matchups, you got a headache. You know, the Knicks also facing issues because they got a wrong matchup with Atlanta with their length, and athleticism. So it's gonna be fun. A lot of these series all of a sudden have extended, which is that makes the NBA happy. But
For the first round, it's very unusual. For OP, for the first round, for an opening round, it's very unusual.
You're absolutely right, because normally those teams just automatically, they go 4-0 or 4-1. So I think, for the most part, most of these are going to probably go 6, only because if you look at all the matchups, it makes for a longer series. Outside of OKC and Phoenix, and even they could have a chance. Remember, this, Grant. NBA basketball is about makes and misses.
That's
they're
right.
getting open shots, they're just not going in.
Yeah. OP, what has impressed you the most about the Lakers going 2-love up on the Houston Rockets?
The fact that they held home court. That's the only thing that surprised me. So I'm not really surprised they won. I thought they probably would lose one of the 2 games, but that, again, it's the playoffs never start until you lose on your home floor. So all they did was hold serve. Now Houston's going to go back. They got to make definite adjustments, especially with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is not a facilitator. One of the things that I've always said about Kevin Durant is this, and I love his game, but he does not make his teammates better.
That's a great
if you
point.
look at his career, he can score with the best of them. He might be one of the best ever, but he makes no one else better. And every time he tries, and if you looked at the passes he made yesterday, I think he had 9 or 10 turnovers. He was rifling passes to guys that weren't even open. And so to me, it's that's not his strength. He needs somebody else out there facilitating, and now he gets to do what he does best.
Defensively, though, in their game plan, it's one thing, but then to execute that. I was so impressed with just the attention to detail from the Lakers playing without Austin Reeves and playing without Luke. I guess that kind of that sticks out to me, OP. Just their attention to detail and how well they executed that.
Well, you got defensive players out there. That's the key. Jared Vanderbilt, Marcus Smart, Jackson. Hey, these guys are defensive-minded individuals. And so, the weakness for the Lakers has always been defense from Luka and Austin Reeves. So, you take away a lot of offensive firepower, but you got better as a defensive team. LeBron's older, but he still knows how to play when he wants to. His problem is that he picks and chooses when he plays defense. So the last 2 games, he chose to at least be engaged enough. But the rest of those guys, they're the ones making it happen. Also, now, forget the defense and all that. Luke Kennard has been playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
And that's major. Without Luke Kennard, the Lakers are down 0-2.
No question. Very true. OP, the Knicks, the pressure that they're going to have for their game tomorrow in Atlanta after blowing game 2. Do you think that the Hawks won that game more, or do you think the Knicks lost it more? Okay, I'm talking about what we just saw at the Garden.
The Knicks lost that game by far because you up 12. You're not supposed to lose that game again. And what is that? Is that the players or is that the coach? Wasting that timeout, Mike Brown, that was a bad decision.
Terrible
with Jalen Brunson. It's and then you get the rebound. You don't have a timeout at the end of the game. So to me, those are the things that are not good for that team. So they definitely lost that game. Atlanta played well enough. CJ McCollum gave y'all a gift, and you couldn't even capitalize.
Yeah, I can't believe he missed both free throws. That's unbelievable.
I can't either.
But Jalen Brunson defensively is a liability. They're going to have to change their defense up. What do you do if you're the Knicks for Game 3? What adjustments do you think we're going to see?
Well, we know Jalen's not a very good defender, and they are seeking him out. So I would at least hedge a little bit toward his side. They have great defenders, the Knicks do. Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns. All those guys are great defenders, Mitchell Robinson. But everybody's they've left him on an island, and you can't do that. We used to say this, the Boston Celtics, I'll bring them up right quick. Larry Bird was not quicker feet. But and the Boston Celtics as a whole weren't like great defenders, but they knew how to hide those weaknesses by helping each other out. And so to me, that's the key. Sometimes you got to learn how to just cover for your teammates better and hide the weaknesses. He got exposed the other night.
Well, I tell you, the New York media has been going crazy. I've been reading the Post and the talk radio. I made a comment yesterday, and I still believe this. I believe if the Knicks have an early exit, I think Mike Brown's a one and done. I really do. I see James Dolan going in a different direction. We know how the Knicks operate. We know about Dolan. I know that Brown's got that big 4-year deal. It doesn't matter in New York. I could see him being out the window if they get upset here.
Oh, contracts don't matter anymore in the NBA.
No.
They're willing to pay coaches to sit on the sideline. And so to me, you're right. I do believe that as well. I believe it's a one and done because we've been saying it. You fired the guy that got you to the Eastern Conference Finals. So it has to be finals or else.
Yeah.
For the Knicks and Mike Brown. There's nothing else. Everything else is a failure. Now, if you get knocked out first round, God forbid it's the first round, it's really he's getting fired. But no matter where it is, first, second, it's still going to be an issue for them because you just, like I said, went to the Eastern Conference Finals with pretty much that same unit.
Talk to me from a player's perspective. You mentioned their length and their athleticism. And when I watch the Hawks play, what really jumps out to me is their athleticism. Can you talk about playing on a team that might be less athletic when you're going against the athletes, the caliber of Atlanta, and what that's like, and the approach that you take?
Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz.
Yeah, that's
not
true.
Very athletic.
Very
but
true.
Very cerebral. Cerebral. And that's one of the things about the Jazz. Like, we had one play, but that play had 5 options. Those options had 5. Those options had 5, and so on and so on. And so you had to be really smart and pay attention to detail. And that's where I think the game has evolved. We don't have a lot of that anymore. We have the NBA basketball game right now is you get the ball, you do something, and if you can't do it, try to find somebody that's going to get the ball, and he has the same scenario. Make something happen. No one runs plays, backdoor cuts, pick and pops into something else, counters, double counters. We don't have any of that. So everybody's basing basketball on athleticism right now. And sometimes that athleticism doesn't always work. And we see that a lot in today's game. Somebody's got to make one smart move. And whoever that team is, and I think that's why I like Oklahoma City, because they're the closest right now to a team with athleticism and still play a cerebral game.
Boy, they embarrassed Phoenix in Game 1, Game 2 tonight. I'll get to that in a moment. You mentioned Orlando going up and winning a Game 1 in Detroit. The Magic, to me, what I watched in the play-in, their lockdown defense on Charlotte, and I don't watch Orlando play a lot, but boy, I was so impressed with the way they played defense and then the way they played defense the other night. Could you see them giving Detroit a heck of a series? I still think Detroit wins this, but what is it about the Magic, who I thought was maybe the most disappointing team in the regular season this year in the NBA?
The Magic were underachieving throughout the year, but also we got to remember they had a lot of injuries.
Yes, they did.
And Franz Wagner was a big part of that. And, he missed so many games. And so with that being said, now that he's back somewhat healthy, we're seeing the true Magic team. And again, matchups make a series. Now, there's components of Orlando that bothers Detroit tremendously. Everybody kept saying that Detroit's a physical team, but the Orlando Magic were the more physical of the two teams. Now, Grant, I'm going to give you a nugget here.
Yeah.
Okay? Because, when I watch games, I watch every scenario. I go on the blogs. I do research. Here's a secondary part to this series that people need to pay attention to. Wendell Carter versus Jalen Durant. Jalen Durant took 4 shots. Wendell Carter was like, I'm coming at you. The underlying component of all of that, with what I'm saying, is Angel Reese. Because they both dated Angel Reese.
Oh my
Wendell
God.
Carter currently. And so it's funny because Angel Reese actually posted Wendell Carter dunking on Jalen Durant.
Oh my God. I only get a tidbit like this from you on this show. I don't know what I would do without you. See, I love it. You're really digging deep here, OP. You got it all covered, man. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah.
But all those things come into play. Just like when these dudes come to LA or go to Miami and party and everything else.
Yeah.
I know what they're doing. So I can tell you who's going to have a good game and who's not.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you this, and it's a different sport and it's a different time, but I want you to take me back to your draft night in the NBA, because tomorrow the NFL draft is in Pittsburgh and only 16 draftees are going to Pittsburgh to attend in person. The rest are going to hang out at home with friends and family. Take me back to your draft night, the dynamic of being there as opposed to not being there, and your thoughts on only 16 guys going to the NFL draft tomorrow.
Well, get 1987, knowing I was going to be drafted, lottery, because, the teams let you know where they're picking. And it was funny because when I got drafted, I was drafted 8th, but I thought I was going to be the 5th pick because Seattle had the 5th pick, and they told me they were going to pick me 5th. I didn't know about the trade that was made, which ended up being Scottie Pippen and myself being traded. So we had and we didn't know what was going on, so everything was genuine, all the reaction. But if you look at that draft, when Stern says that with the 5th pick, Seattle Supersonics select, I started to stand up. And then he said Scott Pippen, and I was like, who the hell is Scott Pippen? And so with that being said, those things happen. We didn't know about it, but yet, you were so happy to be one of those guys in that green room. And, we had more players than 16, but that was your thing. And later on, when I talked to other guys, we all had the same mentality. It's like, man, I just want to get in the green room. I just want to be one of those guys in the green room. And then we've seen over the years, like a Giannis coming out the stand, which to me is insane that he didn't get an invitation to the green room.
That is ridiculous.
16 players in the NFL. But again, that's the new world we're in.
Yeah.
They'll rather be at home with their family and friends and a camera crew sent there. So I think it makes more drama, I guess. But that's where we are right now, Grant.
OP, is that really true? You really did start to stand? You really did?
I because that's the only team I really worked out for. I also talked to New York, but New York was so down, and I knew I wasn't going to go that far down. So I literally, he said, with the selection, whatever, I go, I'm leaning forward like I'm about to get up. Say my name. When he said Scott Pippen, I slumped back down in that chair. And I was like, oh, my God. I looked at my agent. He's like, relax. He did the hand gesture. Calm down. I said, well, okay, whatever. And then when the Bulls said the 8th pick, I'm going to be a teammate of Michael Jordan's. Forget Seattle.
Hey, OP, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but that was a pretty good deal for Chicago.
Oh, that was a great deal for Chicago. They got the guy they wanted. But, hey, Grant, now here's something funny. That trade happened the night before, right? Okay, so a lot of people, they be like, oh, my God, that's one of the worst trades ever. But it's like, no, I was the bigger player. I was the bigger name, at that time.
Of course you were.
But also,
of course you were.
But also, if Scottie Pippen stays in Seattle, he does not become Scottie Pippen. Where's he going to play? Dale
Tell
Ellis,
me why.
Tom Chambers, Xavier McDaniels.
Yeah.
3
the X-Man.
scorers. He's not going to get minutes. He's not going to develop. He got to the team that wanted him, but he ends up in Chicago where he does get minutes and he plays and he becomes Scottie Pippen. But that's how it is. A lot of players, if you look around, no matter what the sport is, sometimes it's about where you land. We talked about this. Luka in Sacramento does not become Luka Doncic.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree. Boy, you brought up a name, Tom Chambers. Boy, could he shoot the rock.
Ooh, Tommy Gunn. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He can play that game. Forget shoot. He can play that game. I still remember that dunk on Mark Jackson.
I remember that too. And you talk about Dale Ellis, another guy that could shoot the lights out. I mean, that was some team, man. They had some amazing players. And the X-Man. The X-Man was fun to watch.
20-point scorers. Yeah.
Yeah.
3
Back in an era where you didn't have to reach. Yeah. Yep. How about that? I didn't even think about that. Ellis, Chambers, and the X-Man.
And none of those guys shot threes, Grant.
No,
outside
of course
Dale.
not. No. Dale Ellis was the only guy. I announced a game of Dale Ellis when he was with the Spurs the night that he became I can't even remember what the number was, but it was like a milestone 3-point shot. And now, of course, you got guys blowing by that. The game was so different back then, OP. I don't think a lot of fans and the younger generation today, they don't understand how different the game was when you came into the league.
Oh, it was very different. I had 3 guys that I played against. I'll put them up against anybody in basketball right now as 3-point shooters. Dale Ellis, Eddie Johnson, and Ricky Pierce.
Oh gosh. Wow.
Incredible.
I think Eddie could
only
step
probably
onto the court and still make shots.
Still make shots. But they average maybe 3-4 3-pointers a game. Now they're doing that a minute.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you this because I think the 3-point shot has really hurt the game. I think the way the game is played now has hurt the game. And Jerry Reynolds said this to me during a telecast, 15 years ago, and we've talked about this on a regular basis. He thinks that the NBA should get rid of the corner 3. So where the arc stops becoming an arc and turns into a straight line, get rid of that, and that is only a 2-point shot. He said the corner 3 is too easy for NBA players. You got transition, you got fast breaks, and they give up layups and give up dunks to kick out to the corner. Do you think that would help the game if you eliminated the corner 3?
I like it because it would. The one thing that I hate for players is when they over there in that corner and then they step out of bounds.
Step out of bounds. Yeah. There's not a lot of room
because
over
they
there.
always want to drive. If you're in that corner, it should only be to shoot or else move in because you guys are always stepping out of bounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so to me, what's the purpose of it unless you're going to catch and shoot? Now, if I know you're going to catch and shoot, my defense changes because I'm going to make sure you take that step and step out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a conducive kind of component of the game. So I do agree. I would make the arc just the 3-point line. And I would probably even move it back because we've outgrown that line.
Yeah, we have.
So,
yeah.
So to me, you need to move that back because all the people that were specialists are no longer specialists.
Yeah. Do you agree with me that it's hurt the game? Do you agree with me that it's hurt the game?
Yes. And it's not Steph Curry's fault. Steph Curry just took something and made it his own. And then everybody thought they were all Steph Curry. No, you're not. You're just a guy who can make a 3, just like I can. I'm not a great shooter. I'm not a 3-point shooter, but I can make a 3. So that's the problem. People are not working on their craft to where they should call themselves 3-point shooters. They're not doing it enough.
OP, I know you're in the basketball, but just to update you on a score, bottom of the second, the Yanks get 3 on the board in the first, and that team that plays north of New York is the last place team in that despicable city north of New York, already down 3-0. So I just wanted to update you on the Yankee game.
Well, I definitely appreciate that.
Hey, you enjoy the games. Always great having you on. You take care, and we'll talk to you next week. Be good.
All right. Okay, Grant. Bye.
All right. Take care. That's great stuff from Olden Polonese. I love that. Great conversation. We'll come back. Your reaction at 916-779-0929. That's next right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Are you thinking about getting out of market volatility or trying to make real money on your money in the bank? Tune into my show, Striking Gold, with me, Kenny Michaels.
Sunday mornings at 7 on Fox Sports Radio Sacramento.
Have you ever tried to buy gold and silver and felt like you were talking to a used car salesman? That's because the precious metals industry is like the Wild West. Salesmen can say pretty much anything or make any promise they want without repercussion. But Genesis Gold Group is different. They're a faith-driven Christian precious metals company and believe in educating their customers, not pressuring them for a quick sale. Genesis Gold Group focuses on customer service, not sleazy marketing. Genesis Gold Group is named after the first book of the Bible for a reason. Proper stewardship of wealth is their specialty. Find out why they've earned a 5 out of 5 rating through the Better Business Bureau and how they can help you secure your wealth or retirement through physical precious metals. Call right now to learn more.
800-497-8464. 800-497-8464. 800-497-8464. That's 800-497-8464.
Spring is here, so check your tires. When your vehicle needs the best, get Firestone Firehawks. They are built on years of racing heritage and are designed with the latest in tire technology. This month, save $100 on a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks. They provide the confidence and comfort you've come to expect from Firestone. Race into Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue, and find the set that's right for you. Whatever you drive a Firestone. Get them at Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue.
Are you or do you know a veteran or a family in need of a heating or air conditioning unit? If so, go now to dasmechanical.org and nominate yourself or someone you know to receive one with installation being donated by our neighbors at DAS Mechanical. We all know this past year has been tough for some in our community. Nick Delancey and his DAS family want to give back, and they're excited to give back, just like this, to help out a veteran or family in need. It's very simple to enter. Go to dasmechanical.org. Click the 2026 HVAC System Donation tab and fill out a very short 6-question nomination form. That's dasmechanical.org. Click the 2026 HVAC System Donation tab and fill out the short form. DAS Mechanical, family owned and proudly serving our community for years. Nominate now at dasmechanical.org. That's dasmechanical.org.
You can't control when an accident happens, but you can control who you call after one. So call us, the Accident Guys, your trusted injury attorneys. 877-888-GUYS.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the Accident Guys.
The Mariners ended up scoring a run in the bottom of the ninth. They come from behind to salvage a game of that 3-game set against the A's. The final from Seattle, 5-4 in favor of the M's. Pistons, Magic. That game has begun. Boy, the pressure on Detroit early on in the playoffs. We talk about that, Ryan, just like, when you're a higher seed, like a team like Detroit, you're number one and you already lose in the first game. Wow. And then you've got the 17.5-point favorite. And listen, I get the fact that Oklahoma City manhandled Phoenix in the first game. I get that. But that is just a lot of points. So it's going to be interesting to see if Phoenix, calms down a little bit. Now they know what to expect and they settle down a little bit. I don't expect them to win, but boy, you would think that maybe they can make that more of a competitive game because that first game, they just weren't ready to go, and Oklahoma City manhandled them.
Yeah, Oklahoma City can go on some massive runs, though.
Yeah.
Really, really quick, and not the runs where you bounce back. It's done when they go on that run, but in playoff basketball, 17.5's a lot. Detroit early on in this one does not look phased. In fact, they're taking it a little bit to the Magic 14-7 in the first quarter. So good for them. They don't look as nervous as they did before.
Yeah. Well, you remember, we keep talking about this. It takes 4 games to advance, not one game. And sometimes we, as fans, we make too much out of one game, particularly early in a season.
Is there a series in particular? Do you feel we've made too much out of 1 or 2 games?
Too much? I don't know I don't know if we've made too much out of it. I believe that, well, I got to tell you, I was wrong about the Lakers. I didn't think they were going to win a game.
Either did I. Yeah.
Ryan, it's not just that they won the game last night. It's how they won the game, right? Like, and OP, and we know this, and you've said this, and everyone that watches basketball, it's a make or miss league. We get that. But I was so impressed with how they defended last night. I was like, wow.
Yeah, you know who they really miss, and OP brought this up, that KD is not a distributor. Fred VanVleet.
Of course.
They miss that guy so much because Reed Shepherd did what he could during the regular season at point, but he's a shooting guard. And it just goes back to they should have added a piece at the deadline.
Yes.
What does a DeMar DeRozan look like? with them
boy.
right now.
Well, I'll tell you what it would look like right now. At the worst, it would be 1-1 going back to Houston.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Spot on.
So you said we make too much out of one game? I don't think so. You know, we acknowledge that one game has nothing to do with the next unless you have injuries. The Victor Wembanyama thing is scary from his health perspective, but I mean, just in how this could change the landscape of the playoffs.
We've known that all along, right? And
yes,
the same is true, maybe not to the same degree for every other team, but the same's true of every
But you
team.
don't expect him to get a concussion. It's basketball. You don't see a lot of concussions in basketball.
No. And, you know, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. He was out after the first time he hit his head, and then the second time. It's scary.
Listen, I'm not in the play. I haven't played in the NBA. There was no effort at all to brace his fall there with his arms, which I found to be very interesting.
It's a good point.
Very often when you fall down, you don't fall literally flat on your face and on your head. You normally have your arms out in front of you, which, by the way, can cause fractures of your wrist and everything else. But generally speaking, when you fall and the way he did, I was just surprised there was no bracing of the hands or arms or anything on that fall.
I think I have to go back and watch it. He might have been trying to get a call on Drew Holiday.
Oh. Okay.
Where he threw his hands up, I want to say. I'll go back and watch it.
Okay.
I want to be accurate there. The reason I asked you if we think or anybody's making too much out of one game, I think that line, again, that we started with 17.5 for Oklahoma City, that's making too much of one game to me. Just because what OP said, what you just said, Phoenix didn't shoot the ball well. That can all change tonight. It's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points, huh? I mean, really. Yeah. I'm still picking Oklahoma City to win, but I don't know if they're going to blow them out like they did in game one.
I would expect Phoenix to feel disrespected by that.
Yeah.
Don't think that hasn't gotten back to them.
All right, so you talk about Detroit off to a much better start of 14-7, and then again Phoenix and Oklahoma City coming up here in the nightcap. We have got Grant's Rant coming up at 5, and then the NFL draft tomorrow with the Raiders on the clock. All right, let's have our second hour bold prediction. Fernando Mendoza, who will in all likelihood be taken first by the Las Vegas Raiders, will turn the Raiders eventually into a perennial playoff team and eventually will be an upper echelon quarterback in the NFL. Yay or nay?
Wow, that's so broad. Because he could be an upper end quarterback in the NFL like Joe Burrow and not turn his team into a perennial
he got to the
playoff
Super Bowl.
team. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Burrow won an AFC championship.
Great
game.
point.
Let's not
Yeah.
Forget that. He did go to the Super Bowl.
No, you know what? You're spot on.
Spends a night in the box.
I deserve a night in the box for that. I gotta say no, Grant. Just because of how the Raiders, until proven different, and I like what they've done this offseason. I think Max being back has kind of given them a shot in the arm. In some case, I think a lot of the nation is looking at the Raiders as the baby face instead of the heel because of what the Ravens did. I just don't think so. There's still a lot more that needs to be done on defense because when the Raiders are good, that defense is banging around.
All right, now I'm going to throw a curveball at you. So my good buddy Christopher Mad Dog Russo went off on a rant ripping the fans for chanting USA around Matthew Fitzpatrick, who, of course, is from the UK and who was on the Ryder Cup team that dismantled the Americans at Bethpage Black. And it's just odd to me that the fans are chanting USA at Fitzpatrick when he just kicked your butt and did so again at the Heritage this weekend in South Carolina. I don't disagree with Dog on this one. Stupid.
I mean, fans are going to fan, though, right? To get any type of reaction.
It's ridiculous. You just got your butt kicked in October or in September at the Ryder Cup. Shut up. You're just acting like imbeciles.
So there's a series on Netflix called Full Swing. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I've watched it. I have watched it. Yes, I enjoy it.
So they have an episode up right now, or a new season that follows the Ryder Cup. And it's kind of inside the ropes about what happened. And the preview of it has a guy that took the video where it looked like somebody threw a beer at Rory's wife.
Yes.
But then they realized what happened was somebody hit that guy's hand and the beer went flying. So you got to check that out. I have not watched it yet, but I'm looking forward to checking that out because I want to see more detail into what happened at that poor showing in Long Island earlier this summer.
We got a message on our chat line on YouTube. Mr. Moss said no to DeRozan for his Rockets. Well, he's wrong. Mr. Houston Rocket fan, he's wrong. DeRozan would have made that team significantly better at the trade deadline.
He is very wrong. I love Moss, though. Moss
I
is
do
a great
too,
guy.
but I mean, he's way off base at that. And by the way, I don't know if he said that. I'm just reporting what is on our screen on the chat line. He's way off base. DeRozan would make that team significantly better.
I think he said that way earlier in the season, though, if I'm not mistaken, Peter.
Okay, but what difference does that make?
Well, I mean, you learn more about the players that you have. Some guys overachieve, underachieve. Things change, injuries, etc. Reed Shepherd, I think at that point was playing really well, if I remember correctly.
You think the Rockets go home and win games 3 and 4?
No. I think they probably win. Well, you know what? Yeah, I think they do. Okay. What did we say last week? Don't bet against Steph Curry. You just can't bet against him. It's stupid.
Correct.
Are we putting that same standard to a 41-year-old LeBron James who almost had a triple-double last night?
The guy played tremendous in game 1 and game 2.
I know. So I guess I'll kick it to you. Do the Rockets hold court at home?
I think they do, yes.
Yeah.
I think they do. I'm shocked by that. I mean, I really am, Ryan. I'm not kidding you. I'm really blown away that we're talking about the Lakers being up 2-0. And that was before I knew Durant wasn't going to play in game 1. But still, I still would have taken the Rockets to win that game, even if you had told me Durant's not playing in game 1.
Well,
without Reeves and without Luka, I would have said, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Şengün's been underwhelming.
Yeah, he has been underwhelming. Şengün has been very disappointing. Well, underwhelming, I would say. I think that's a very good word to use.
Yeah. I think they've got to look at how they use him. He is capable of so much more. And if Kevin Durant's going to be limited, you've got to have a second hub to run through. And that's what he's been brought up to do.
Yeah. By the way, for those that are, talking about Pittsburgh, I know what you said was kind of tongue in cheek, but you're right. Okay. You're right. If you want players to show up, go to Vegas, go to New York, right? Go to Chicago. Don't go to Pittsburgh. I mean, you're 100% correct. And I understand when you go to the draft, you're not going to, party and go to the nightclubs. But, part of going to a city is going out to great places to eat and the vibrant atmosphere. And, they're not going to be in their room at 10 o'clock at night. Let's just call it the way it is. Yeah. I'm with you. I think it's a poor choice. And listen, I've been to Pittsburgh and I don't have anything. I don't care. But for a draft, for a big event, it should not be in Pittsburgh. And I understand the history. It's one of the great franchises in the NFL, the Rooney family. I get all of that. But it's just not a good decision by the NFL. It's just not.
No. And I wonder, and I was going to bounce this off you. I'm so glad that we're revisiting it. I wonder how NIL plays into this. Because back in the day, before players were officially paid, you would get sponsors and different bridges in between your last semester and working out and getting drafted, and then walking across the stage, wearing certain products, doing certain things, promoting things throughout the week, of the draft leading up to it. You know, that's all changed. These players have that money already, and those companies are already well represented by the players on their social or whatever they're doing. So I wonder if that changes it as well.
Well, when you talk about being well represented, that's the case if you use Village Financial Group for any of your real estate transactions. You know, we always talk about buying a home, selling a home, but there are so many different programs out there, so many different opportunities to maybe take advantage of the equity in your home. And it's not just about buying a home or selling a home. You need someone that's experienced, and that's Spence at Village Financial Group, broker owner of Village Financial Group since the year 2000. And he has a lot of things at his disposal to get you exactly what you're looking for when it comes to real estate. First of all, he's been in the business a long time. He is a financing specialist. He is very creative. He has access to private money. Village Financial Group, it's like a white glove boutique shop experience from the start line to the finish line and everything in between. Call or text Spence at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. You can also check out their website, vfgloans.com, with thousands of available listings ready for purchase. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest.
A+ transition. A+.
Oh, you like that, huh?
That was great.
Good. Well, thank you. You know, I'm very happy. I'll take the compliment anytime I can get it. I appreciate that.
That was you're one of the best in the biz at those transitions. You know that. And you're one of the best in the biz at knowing when to hand a card over when you don't want to say the names.
You're killing me. We'll be right back on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are homeowners. For any electrical project you need done, trust the good dudes at Gabroods. Locally owned, 5-star service experts, always transparent prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Call Gabroods or visit Gabroods.com. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Have you ever tried to buy gold and silver and felt like you were talking to a used car salesman? That's because the precious metals industry is like the Wild West. Salesmen can say pretty much anything or make any promise they want without repercussion. But Genesis Gold Group is different. They're a faith-driven Christian precious metals company and believe in educating their customers, not pressuring them for a quick sale. Genesis Gold Group focuses on customer service, not sleazy marketing. Genesis Gold Group is named after the first book of the Bible for a reason. Proper stewardship of wealth is their specialty. Find out why they've earned a 5 out of 5 rating through the Better Business Bureau and how they can help you secure your wealth or retirement through physical precious metals. Call right now to learn more.
800-497-8464. 800-497-8464. 800-497-8464. That's 800-497-8464.
Decisions determine results. So which path do I want to take? Help people in need or stand on the sidelines watching? Worry about how to pay for school or have my education paid for? Push myself and learn new skills or stay the same? My decision is to serve part-time with the Army National Guard, and my results will be life-changing. What will you decide? Go to NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Aired by the California Broadcasters.
At the Y, strength means being together. Swimming, dancing, learning, lifting, or volunteering, to name a few. 175 years later, there's still no place like this place. Get involved at your Y. Learn more at ymca.org.
Love you, Tizzy. 916-779-0929. Lynn wants to know what I thought of Stephen A. Smith's comments about golf players and NASCAR drivers not being athletes. Well, I didn't hear him say that. I think race car drivers are phenomenal athletes in terms of their strength, their hand-eye coordination, their reaction time. I don't agree with that at all. And then there are some golfers that are really good athletes, and then there are others that are not. But in terms of hand-eye coordination and strength for a racer with the G-force in those cars and the amount of physical training that they go through to get into a car and race under those conditions with that stress, that speed, and the heat, and the amount of weight that they can lose during a race, I disagree with that at all. That's stupid. Now, I don't follow NASCAR like I do the F1 and like Lynn does with IndyCar, but racing is racing and G-force is G-force, and those courses, those drivers experience incredible G-force. Like people think, oh, gee, it would be so cool to get into an F1 race car and drive around Monaco. Well, let me tell you something. You would never be able to do it. You wouldn't even be able to handle that. Your body couldn't handle. You wouldn't be able to do it. Like, that's first and foremost. You couldn't physically do it. It would be impossible. So, like, I have a lot of respect after watching that. Speaking of Netflix, the Drive to Survive in that series on F1, and see the physical regiment that what they go through. It's amazing. This is not chopped liver we're talking about here.
What about the mental side of it, Grant? The mental acuity, the mental muscles that go into being a NASCAR driver. I'd like to see Stephen A. Smith or half of you that don't think that they're athletes try to get in the car and get out of the car.
Hey, I want to tell you, back about, I'm going to say roughly 30 years ago, they had the stock car, I'm not sure if it was NASCAR, out at Cal Expo at the track, all right? And then I was at somewhere else, and I still have a picture of this because it was fascinating for me. And they let members of the media have a race in real vintage cars, all right?
That's smart.
I'm just telling you, it was unbelievable, okay? And I was all into it. I was like, yeah. And to this day, and I'm not exaggerating. Matter of fact, I've got a picture of this I'm going to find that I'm going to send to you.
Yeah.
And you will laugh. You will not be able to believe it. To this day, the hardest thing about that entire trip around the track in a vintage stock car was getting out of the car. Okay, it's not like you open up the door and get out. All right, you got to, first of all, figure out how you're going to climb out of the window. Do you go feet first? Do you turn around and go butt first? And I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
That was very challenging to get out of the car. And I was, again, I'm in my late 20s. It's not like I'm old now, and now I wouldn't be able to do it even if you put $1 million in a suitcase and go, if you get out of the car, it's yours. I would die in the car. I would never be able to get out.
Somebody get the Hoyer lift.
But I'm telling you, Ryan, that to this day was what was the most difficult thing, was getting out of the car. Getting in was not easy, but getting out of the car was brutal. Brutal.
You got to have some real upper body strength.
Oh my
It's like a
God.
pull-up. If you watch some of the and I'm just going off of what I see when guys
Yeah.
are getting out of the car. It's insane.
Well, you know what it was? First of all, I was embarrassed because everybody's looking at you and you're like, okay, don't fall. Because, you've seen even professional drivers fall getting out of the car. There was an injury, I want to say recently, where an individual fell getting out of the car and hurt himself. You could see that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I can find this picture, you will just die when you see this.
There's I believe it's in Vegas. There's a
Yeah.
NASCAR experience. I think they have a few of them around.
Yeah, they do. They
nation.
do have NASCAR experiences, yes. But back to the G-force of these drivers and what they experience, and I don't know what the G-force is for a NASCAR driver, but the F1 drivers and everything else, they were saying that in the race that was right before they had to take 2 weeks off or 3 weeks off because of the war, there was an accident and the force of the car going off and hitting the wall was at 9 Gs, is what they said. Now, I'm not an expert when it comes to G-force, but I was like, wow, I was like, wow. There's a lot that goes into that.
Okay. I believe because I watched a video on this not too long ago. It was somebody that went up with one of the Blue Angels.
Yes.
I thought it was like 8.5, 9 was like as high as or as close as they go. So 9 Gs in a car.
Carlos Sainz was doing an interview, who's on the F1 circuit, and he talked about that, and he said, thank goodness we were in Japan with an open circuit, meaning that there weren't walls and barriers.
Yeah.
And that the car was able to go for a great distance before it hit the wall, because they're having a lot of issues right now with the F1 setup and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not able to put it in the layman terms, so I'm not going to get into it. But he said, man, if we were in Bahrain or some of these other courses, that would be a deadly accident. You wouldn't survive in an accident. The drivers are gravely concerned about the fluctuation of speeds due to the battery / motor. I mean, again, I don't know enough to put it in layman terms. I know what in my mind, I know what it is. I just can't articulate it. And the drivers all on the F1 circuit are extremely nervous and worried about this, that there's going to be a dreadful situation if they don't make modifications to the car when they get to Miami in a couple weeks.
That's terrifying. So F-16 Fighter Falcon.
Yes.
Rated for 9 Gs. F-22 Raptor. Capable of generating over 9 Gs in tight turns. I mean,
wow.
A lot of these 9 Gs, that is a ton. Have you ever been exposed to Gs on an airplane?
Yes, I have. I was in a glider through the Swiss Alps and going in the currents through the Alps and the steep turns and things of that nature. I remember that very well. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of the coolest things I've ever done, by the way.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sounds really cool. Yeah, my dad's taken me up before, and I had nothing like 9 Gs, but
no,
I've felt the Gs before. It's a very interesting
that
feeling.
was very cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. I enjoyed that. That was you know how much I love flying, and like that was to me. I was 12 years old at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were young.
I talked my mother into it. We were in Switzerland, and I'm like, man, I got to go up in one of those. And, you know, she knew my love even back then for flying. And yeah, I did that. That was very cool.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. Had a parachute on in case we had to bail out of the plane.
I think every airplane should have a parachute. Hey, why can't you put a parachute on every airplane seat?
Yeah. Well, that probably is not going to help you on a jet plane, but like, you know, the new planes, have you seen the planes that are like 3 million, these jets that are 3 million that have
It's a weird looking engine on the back, and they're becoming very popular. And the plane has a parachute on it.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So, just so you know, Ryan, there are things that are out there that we're not even aware of.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, back to what Lynn was asking me. I didn't hear Stephen A. Smith say that, but that's a stupid comment. Seriously, stupid.
Honestly, though, is it possible for Stephen A. Smith, and I know his work ethic is crazy.
Yes, it is.
So I'm not going to put a ton of people in his category,
Yes.
but with the amount of time on a daily basis that they need to fill, like he's got to do crazy stuff at some point. He's got to say things to elicit responses.
Yeah, but there's no accountability for what you say anymore. That's the problem.
No,
you can make stupid comments. You can get facts wrong. You can, talk about players on a team that don't even play for that team anymore. Right. And there's no accountability. There's no repercussions for it. It doesn't matter. It's like people don't even care anymore. And that's just something that is so foreign to me.
No, actually, there's positive reinforcement to a degree because of the attention that it brings you on social media, right?
I've never understood it. I don't get it. I mean, I remember when I went to college, and I remember the one class that I did take that really meant a lot to me was a journalism, law, and ethics class. And I learned so much in that class, but we always had it drilled in our heads, fact check, not just one source, multiple sources.
Yeah.
Check, double check. You've got to be accurate. Like that was just driven into my head. And that's probably the only thing I learned in college that really helped me in my profession, but I'll never forget it. And it's just the truth. It's like that. What has happened to that in this day and age? It doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I'm glad you paid attention to it. She executed it perfectly. She walked that tightrope for many years.
Well,
many years.
Yeah. Yes, I did. And there was nothing worse during the time when the Kings were moving, they were staying, they were moving, they were staying. And I probably was sleeping 4 to 5 hours a day, up in the middle of the night, getting information, talking with sources. Am I going to be unemployed? What am I going to do with my life? We could go on and on. What's it going to be like for the fans? I'll never forget that period of time. That was the most stressful period of time that I've ever had in this business, driving to work and not knowing what I was going to say. And still, when the music was being played to introduce me with the bumper music, I still would not know what I was going to say, and then I would just start talking. So, yeah, those were the days. I'm glad those days are in the rearview mirror, and we have a beautiful arena in downtown Sacramento, and as bad as the team is, at least you have a team. That's for sure. All right, Grant's Rant. Yes, always we'll have a Grant's Rant. I think I'll be doing Grant's Rant on my last day, whenever that may be. Sometimes we know when it's going to be, sometimes we don't. But my point is, I could see myself, later in life, I'm at the end of the road. I'm like, hey, before I go, let me just do one more rant. Please. Thank you very much. I'll do a rant when we come back right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Two words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis.
building friendships, and bonding with family. It's what people experience during a day out at Golden State Shooting Center. Only moments outside of Sacramento. Golden State Shooting Center is a favorite for those who love the sport of trap, skeet, and sporting clay target shooting. It's also where the California Youth Sport Shooting Association trains and competes. New teams are being formed, and if you've got a son or daughter in high school, they can compete for college scholarships. Learn more at goldenstateshootingcenter.com or call 916-539-8544.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrudes does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrudes, expert 5-star service and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrudes.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrudes.com.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Since Ben Roethlisberger walked away in 2022, the Steelers have been stuck in the same loop. They're competitive, but the potential is capped. Every season feels familiar, just good enough to hang around, never quite dangerous enough to be taken seriously once the playoffs begin. And more often than not, it traces back to the same issue, the quarterback. Instead of finding a long-term answer, Pittsburgh has cycled through short-term bandages, temporary solutions meant to stabilize but not elevate. Now, with the new regime in place, there's an opportunity to reset the approach. But instead, the same pattern continues. The Steelers are waiting again on Aaron Rodgers, a decision that has effectively frozen their offseason. Draft flexibility feels limited. Nothing wrong with a short-term fix. But at some point, the bill comes due. And for Pittsburgh, that bill is starting to look awfully expensive. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. 2 words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis. When money's tight and you're behind, it can be tough to play catch up. But Liberty Mutual can help you make a comeback, a fourth quarter go-ahead drive, if you will. Liberty Mutual is clutch by customizing your car and home insurance to save you money, especially when you bundle. It's insurance built for real people with a team that works hard to help keep more of what matters most in your pocket, money. Liberty, 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 liberty. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent. Liberty Mutual.
Tell your friends. Grant's back. Grant Napear is back on the Sacramento airwaves right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst. K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
It's time for Grant.
Yeah, middle of the week. Rhino, serve him up. What do we have?
Yeah,
what
Grant,
are my choices?
Grant, I have 4 choices for you. As
4?
4, yeah. As A380 Suite says in the chat, Grant learned not to have an affair with a coach in journalism ethics. Breakfast of Champs, reported by Page 6. New pics of Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel having breakfast alone at Arizona Resort. And
where were Diana's other 5 or 6 friends? Were they at breakfast too in the pictures?
They must have gone to the restroom. They
okay.
like to all go together.
I see.
Diana
okay.
stayed behind, maybe watch the purses. You never know. Your second option, never lacking for the spotlight. Jerry Jones today was having a pre-draft press conference, and wouldn't you know, President Clinton comes walking through the doors. But here's the thing. Jera almost fell off the stage trying to get to President Clinton, believe it or not. Quite the scene there. How about this? This one really bugs me. This is from ML Football. Trending. Bills quarterback Josh Allen is under criticism from fans for being, quote, classless by firing up the crowd before the Sabres game and chugging a beer. Multiple parents have posted that this is not the type of behavior that should be shown to kids. You realize you're Bills Mafia, right? You jump through tables. You're drunk the day before the game. Come on, Bills Mafia, do better. And last but not least, Rick Pitino was the first to say this in 2025, that he is no longer recruiting high school players. Many coaches have now followed up and confirmed with over 2,000 players in the portal. They are not recruiting high school players anymore either.
All right. I love ragging on Jerry Jones. I love ragging on the Dallas Cowboys because a franchise such as the Dallas Cowboys that has been so bad for so long, and by bad, I'm talking about no hardware. What have they had? Three playoff wins since they last won the Super Bowl? And the reason why the Cowboys fans are once again going to have a miserable year is because of one person and one person only, and that person is Jerry Jones. And listen, I acknowledge he's been great for the NFL. He's an incredible businessman. He makes a lot of money for the NFL. Jerry's world down there in the stadium is unlike anything I've ever seen. I get all of that. But you know what? The Dallas Cowboys have nothing to show for it since the mid-90s. Think about that. It's 2026. How is it that a franchise in Dallas with the star on the helmet can be that bad, that inept, that underachieving almost year in, year out? And the answer is very simple. Jerry Jones. Okay? And until Jerry Jones is gone, and I'm not wishing for him to die, but the point is that's the only way the Cowboys will get out of this period of state that they're in, whatever, is when Jerry Jones is no longer making decisions with the Cowboys. And you fans know that. If you're a fan of the Cowboys, you know that. I know that. Everyone knows that. Jerry Jones is a polarizing figure. I understand that. But in terms of like putting a good product on the field, in terms of like winning, that ship has long been gone. It's embarrassing is what it is. And if you're a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, there's no other way to say it. It's embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. And so with the president there today, you said it was President Clinton, right?
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes.
It wouldn't have mattered. Jerry Jones is a buffoon. He's a smart buffoon, and he's a rich buffoon, but he's a buffoon. But he's your buffoon, Dallas. You've got him. And I speak for a lot of Cowboys fans that I know that I get a chance to make fun of every year when they lose. They know, I know, and they all feel the way I do and so many others. Jerry must go. And until that happens, the Cowboys are going to be a non-relevant football team in terms of competing for the Lombardi Trophy. Plain and simple. Not happening. Certainly not happening this year. And it's not happening, in my opinion, ever again with Jerry Jones making the decisions. The guy's a joke. He's a buffoon. There's no other way to say it. He's a buffoon. And may I please just add a little bonus here? If you are concerned that the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills is chugging a beer at a Buffalo Sabres game, then you know what? You should not allow your son or daughter to watch TV. All right? You should not allow them to leave the house. You should not allow them at any point in time until they're clearly adolescents to have a cell phone, because that's the world we're living in. And if you're a good parent, you will teach your son or daughter right from wrong, and what's okay for an adult is not okay for the youth of our country. So be a parent, parent your kids, and don't worry about the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills chugging a beer. And as Ryan said, have you ever gone and walked through the parking lot before a Bills game? Have you ever watched the videos online of the Bills Mafia and the way they conduct themselves, as Ryan said, such as jumping off vehicles that are parked in the parking lot and landing on a table? I mean, really? And you're concerned that the quarterback of the Bills is trying to get the crowd going because he chugged a beer before the game? Seriously? That's what you're worried about? Probably shouldn't take your son or daughter to the game if that's something you're worried about. It's unbelievable to me, Ryan, the stuff that we hear. And those are my 2 rants for today. But that's just unbelievable to me. Seriously.
It's unacceptable.
It is unacceptable.
I mean, maybe it's Dave in Elk Grove. Help us out, man. You invited us to jump through a table before last season's playoffs.
I'm never jumping through a table, right? Now you would. You're a WWE guy. I saw what happened to your McAfee the other day on the video.
Oh, that's not my McAfee. Don't call him my McAfee.
But he's still with the WWE, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's part of the act, correct?
Yes, he is.
Okay. So who is the guy that jumped on him? What's his name? Jelly Roll?
Jelly Roll. Yeah.
Okay.
You know Jelly
How do you
Roll?
like my knowledge? I'm pretty good, huh?
That was good.
Yeah.
You know Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna set you up. Grant, who sings this song?
Don't even ask me stuff like that. Don't ask me.
Just do it.
Don't.
You know it. It's the last thing you said.
Jelly Roll.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Whenever I hear Jelly Roll, I always think of Carl Rosser and TD Tony Dunklin, running backs of the Bowling Green State University Falcons in the late 70s. 2 of my favorite guys. Love them. Love them.
Why do you think of them when you hear Jelly Roll?
I'm going to tell you.
Dunklin?
You have to let me finish the story.
All right.
I would see on the way to class Carl and TD a lot, but Carl was funny. I go, Carl, what's up, man? What's happening? Ain't nothing, Grant. I'm as sweet as a jelly roll. That's how we say it. I go, Carl, what's going on, buddy? Ain't nothing, Grant. I'm as sweet as a jelly roll. I'm like, I would be laughing. I'd be howling. I'm an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, trying to get to class, and Carl's, his standard line.
I love
Ain't
that.
nothing, Grant. I'm as sweet as a jelly roll. So whenever I hear Jelly Roll, I think of Carl Rosser and TD. By the way, is there a better name, a better abbreviation to have if you're a running back than TD? Tony Dunklin and Carl Rosser. I still remember those guys' names.
Not as good as Nucci and Ruggles, but pretty darn good.
No. Yeah, but here's the difference. Carl and TD actually got on the field and actually was in the box score, was in the column.
True.
Nucci and Ruggles didn't officially have a second of play, so they didn't register as actually being in the game, even though I had them in the game, but the puck had not dropped yet.
Very true. Man, you say that well. I'm as sweet as a jelly roll.
I'll never forget it. I was just like, oh, Carl, I love you, man. Carl Rosser and TD Tony Dunklin. Carl, and I used to egg him on too. I used to just go, Carl, my man, what is going on, buddy? Ain't nothing, Grant. I'm as sweet as a jelly roll. Love you, Carl.
There's certain people that just have that energy that you want to get, like Mason Jones, ex-King. He just has that energy. It's just contagious.
The things that I remember from school. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Good times.
4 wins, Grant, not 3. Journalism ethics, always double check. Oh, it's kind of doing that off the top of my head. I'm sorry I missed one of their mighty wild card wins since 19 was it 95? I'm sorry I missed one of their wild card wins.
I mean, their regular seasons have not been awful, but then you get to the playoffs. It's nothing.
Well, what matters is the playoffs.
I know. It was Des Bryant, right? With the catch rule.
Yep.
Everything went downhill from there.
Yeah, against Green Bay.
Look at Detroit and Orlando, 37 apiece right now. Unless my computer is frozen, but it looks like that is right. 37 apiece. Now, to me, that favors Orlando.
I would agree with you. It is 37 all. How about the low scoring game and 2:53 left, the pace of this game? Very low scoring.
That means it's physical.
Yeah. All right, hockey. Pittsburgh on top of Philly 1-0. They've got to win, boys. They got their backs against the wall. Sid the Kid and the Penguins trying to get back in this series. Dallas, Minnesota, with that series tied at a game apiece in the Twin Cities. And Anaheim and Edmonton, game 2 of that set with Edmonton with the early 1-game to zip lead over Anaheim. That's your Stanley Cup story. Did you watch any hockey last night?
I did not, but
Okay.
riddle me this. I have seen players get smashed into the boards, but fans shattered the glass last night in Los Angeles?
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
How does that happen?
Well, it's a great question. I'm not really sure. The LA Kings coach got debris on him. Yeah.
One of the assistants just looked. It was a typical hockey thing. Just looked. He's like, all right, whatever. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It's just, you forget with the hits that they take that is actually glass. Like you think it's unbreakable, and it's not.
It's breakable. There is nothing like sitting behind the goal of a hockey game or in the corners when you see the players coming at you full speed, and even though you're in the seat and there's a barrier between you and the ice, and when that happens and they get hit right in front of you, the noise, the energy, and your heart stops for a second, even though you know you're going to be safe. But every now and then, the glass will come ajar or what have you, or it is a trip to be sitting in the corners of a hockey arena when that happens. It is a trip. All right? It really is.
Have you ever been a part of a basketball game where a backboard has shattered?
Yes,
or a standard
several times.
has come down?
Early on in my career, it happened a couple of times, yes.
Really?
Yes.
What was that like?
It's shocking at first. You know, first of all, first thing you do is making sure nobody's hurt.
Yeah.
But it's a trip. It's like an explosion. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
If you're the one doing it, it's got to be terrifying because the rim just everything that you're relying on is gone. It's with you.
I think
on the way down.
Corliss Williamson did it one time.
Oh wow!
And I was like, wow. Yeah, takes quite a while to clean up and everything too.
I would think so. You don't want any remnants of that on the floor.
No, you do not. But I've seen glass shatter in hockey games and things of that nature.
Yeah.
You know?
Not by the fans, though. And of all people, Los Angeles fans?
Why do you say that?
Because they're the worst. They're fair weather. And especially in a sport like hockey, the hockey fan cannot be happy that Los Angeles fan did that and looks cool for being that into it, because LA, that is not LA fan. It had to have been somebody on the road that did that.
Detroit leading Orlando 45-44. 45 seconds left to go in the half. Orlando's got to be thrilled with the pace. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Of this game?
Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely. I actually took Orlando to win this one, so we'll see what happens.
Really?
I did.
Wow.
I did indeed.
You did. You took them to go up 2-love. What was the spread in this game?
8.5 for the Pistons.
46-44.
I took Orlando straight up, though.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Mr. On Fire, Ryan in Sacktown.
You know, every night has been a pretty darn good night, knock on wood.
No, it's unbelievable. Like, it's just truly, when you send me the screenshot of your wins, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, every single night.
You know why I send them to you? It's not bragging. It's not
No, I know
humble
why you're
bragging.
sending them to me.
It's because it's like getting a hole in one by yourself, right? You need to show proof of it.
Well, and also I like to talk about it on the air because they're a sponsor, and like I just think it's pretty amazing what's going on.
Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, hop on America's #1 daily fantasy site with me. Prize Picks. Guess what? Use my promo code Rhino50 if you have not signed up already and get $50 in free play when you play your first $5 lineup. RYNO50. Great thing about Prize Picks is this: you're playing against the numbers. You're not playing against other people, not playing against sharks, just the numbers. So follow me there, Rhino in Sacktown. I've got a bunch of you already following me. I will follow you back. And the good thing about that is we can look at each other's lineups. You can copy mine, see what I'm doing. I'll check up on what you're doing and have some fun making some money on some daily fantasy. So go check them out. Prize Picks.
Love it. All right, we'll take a time out. We will return. We'll take your phone calls, 916-779-0929. And by the time we come back, it should be halftime. We'll get you the latest update on the Pistons and the Magic and everything else in the sports world. That's next here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Hey, folks, are you or do you know a veteran or family in need of a heating or air conditioning unit? I've got awesome news because DAS Mechanical is giving back by donating one to a veteran or family in need. Owner Nick Delancey and his family, hey, they're always looking to give back to the community, and they're excited to help out a veteran or family in need. Just go to dasmechanical.org and nominate yourself or, hey, someone you know to receive one. And yes, it comes with installation. It's very simple to enter. Go to dasmechanical.org. Click the 2026 HVAC System Donation tab. Fill out a very short 6-question nomination form. Nominate now at dasmechanical.org. DAS Mechanical, family-owned, locally owned, HVAC experts, serving Sacramento for years. For all of your HVAC needs, DAS will exceed your expectations. Once again, that's dasmechanical.org.
Building friendships and bonding with family. It's what people experience during a day out at Golden State Shooting Center, only moments outside of Sacramento. Golden State Shooting Center is a favorite for those who love the sport of trap, skeet, and sporting clay target shooting. It's also where the California Youth Sport Shooting Association trains and competes. New teams are being formed, and if you've got a son or daughter in high school, they can compete for college scholarships. Learn more at goldenstateshootingcenter.com or call 916-539-8544.
Are you thinking about getting out of market volatility or trying to make real money on your money in the bank? Tune into my show, Striking Gold, with me, Kenny Michaels.
Have you ever tried to buy gold and silver and felt like you were talking to a used car salesman? That's because the precious metals industry is like the Wild West. Salesmen can say pretty much anything or make any promise they want without repercussion. But Genesis Gold Group is different. They're a faith-driven Christian precious metals company and believe in educating their customers, not pressuring them for a quick sale. Genesis Gold Group focuses on customer service, not sleazy marketing. Genesis Gold Group is named after the first book of the Bible for a reason. Proper stewardship of wealth is their specialty. Find out why they've earned a 5 out of 5 rating through the Better Business Bureau and how they can help you secure your wealth or retirement through physical precious metals. Call right now to learn more.
800-497-8464. 800-497-8464. 800-497-8464. That's 800-497-8464.
At the Y, strength means being together. Swimming, dancing, learning, lifting, or volunteering, to name a few. 175 years later, there's still no place like this place. Get involved at your Y. Learn more at ymca.org.
Low-scoring game in Motown. They're at the intermission. And, you know, the score does come down in the playoffs, so we get that. 46-46
at the half. That second quarter scoring 25-21 Orlando. So, again, a very low-scoring game. How you want to talk about, like, 24 minutes of basketball where your entire season may be on the line as a number one seed early on in the playoffs? You cannot underestimate the importance of this second half upcoming for the Pistons, Rhino.
You're spot on, Grant. Spot on. And think about how this would open up the East to a degree.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
If Orlando was to pull this series off.
Wow.
Feeling a lot better if you're New York, that's for sure.
Yep. Or Cleveland.
Yes, the Cleveland
or
as
Boston.
Well. Hey, I like the way Cleveland's playing right now.
Yeah, they're playing well right now.
Good.
Yep. They're playing well. All right, baseball. We told you about the A's. They had scored a run in the ninth, and then in the bottom of the ninth, Seattle got the go-ahead winning run, and they end up winning by the score of 5-4. So the A's take 2 of 3. Meanwhile, the Giants tonight, they got off to a great start last night. They had the bases loaded with no out, and they scored 3 times in the bottom of the first, and that's all they really needed. And they did a tremendous job getting off to a good start in that series. All right, let's get to some phone calls right here on Fox Sports Sacramento, and we say hello to Bill in Set Your Sights. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Grant. I'm going to go
Bill.
against the grain, and I'm going to, yes, sir. I'm going to go against the grain, and I'm going to defend Jerry Jones.
You're in the minority,
Actually,
but go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I'll give him huge credit for. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I'll tell you one thing. He stands up as an owner and takes responsibility for his team. He tries his best, but he knows that the buck stops with him. There's very few owners of major league teams who does what he does. And, hey, he's a showman, but he's made Dallas Cowboy football even bigger than it was.
Yeah, but you know what?
Him.
It's not about being bigger. It's about winning, and they haven't won now in over 30 years.
Well, there's a lot of teams that have not won in over 30 years.
Yeah, but there are not a lot of teams like the Dallas Cowboys, Bill.
Right, but that's because of Jerry Jones.
Okay, but if you're a Cowboys fan living in Dallas, and I know many of them, they're frustrated as all heck, and they're not into the bells and whistles and all of the stuff that you're talking about. They want to win. They want to have their team in the playoffs that have a chance to win the Super Bowl, and they haven't had that in, again, generations, 2 generations now.
Well, I understand.
Yeah.
How long has it been since the 49ers have won a Super Bowl?
It's been a long time, too. No question. But at least the 49ers have had a chance where they're in championship games and they've been in a Super Bowl, even though they lost. At least they have been there. They have been knocking right on the door. The Cowboys haven't even been close to knocking on the door.
No, I agree. But again, I'll take it. But Jerry shows up and says, my fault, my responsibility. I understand, but my essence of respect is that he comes out and takes that responsibility.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
But
thank you, sir.
Hey, Bill, you have a good afternoon. Thank you very much for your call.
You too.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. 916-779-0929.
So check this out.
Go ahead.
Interesting stat now in the Orlando-Detroit game.
Yeah.
Orlando shot 21 free throws, Grant. Detroit only 8.
Wow.
For a game that is this low scoring.
Yeah.
That's a big stat. I respect Bill for going against the grain, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that Jerry does not pass the buck. I'm with him on that. But, this is a bottom line business. You either win or lose. That's why they have the standings. And the Cowboys have been terrible in that regard. The officials tonight in that game, James Capers, Ed Malloy, and Ray Acosta.
I like Ed Malloy.
I think James Capers is also a great referee. He's the crew chief tonight. I'm a big fan of his.
I just wonder if you hit Jerry with a shot of truth serum and he was given the choice to run the show, have the spotlight, or win a Super Bowl, I'm not so sure he would choose the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I think that's
the problem.
The problem and the frustration of Cowboy fan. But Cowboy fan isn't doing anything about it. They're packing the biggest stadium in the NFL every single home game.
No question. It's a religion down there.
Well,
it really
football down there is just different.
John's a big Cowboys fan. He said, it kills me to say it, Grant, but you are spot on again about the Cowboys. I have the pulse of the Cowboy fans. I know a lot of them. I talk to a lot of them. It's just the way it is. By the way, that team north of New York still has not scored in this series. It is 4-0 Yanks. Max Fried holding that team to 3 hits through 6 innings.
Are they tanking this season? What's going on with them?
I don't know what they're doing other than the fact that when I look at the standings, it's a beautiful sight. Because when I look at the standings, and again, I understand it's only the 3rd week of April, but when I look at the standings, I see the team from New York in first and the team north of New York in last. So it's a beautiful, beautiful sight. They're not tanking. They're 9-14. Tanking would be, how about the Mets? Do you know the Mets, okay, actually have a chance? They had a chance last night. They blew the game in the 9th. But the Mets actually have a lead of 2-1 in the 5th, trying to snap a 12-game losing streak. Do you know how hard it is to have a 12-game losing streak in the middle of April?
Pretty
or the 3rd
hard.
week of April.
I
mean, the season just started.
Yeah, how many games have they played?
I mean, unbelievable, huh? The Mets have played to this point, okay, 23 games. They got a 12-game losing streak.
It's insane.
Unbelievable. All right, let's get to some phone calls. We say hello to Dorian. Dorian, welcome to the show. How are you?
What's up, Grant? What's up, Rhino? That was a good win by the Giants last night, Grant. You know, obviously
Great win.
Still early in the season, but I think Ohtani had 4 at bats. I want to say he only had 1 hit. Anytime you can hold Ohtani to just a hit and no home runs, and you win the game, that's pretty good.
No question. It was a huge win for them just based on how poorly they've been playing and the fact that they need to beat a good team and the team in their division. And let's see if they can follow it up tonight. I thought yesterday, I really thought they needed to win this series, win at least 2 of these games. And because if they'd gotten swept, they'd be buried. They wouldn't climb out of it. That's a big win for them to start this series. Do not underestimate that win last night.
Yeah, totally. If they can win the series or maybe even sweep the series, that's a big confidence booster for the Giants. Despite their record, so we'll see. But Greg, I want to call in and kind of talk a little bit about what Bill was saying. I don't necessarily agree with Bill, but I think Jerry Jones and Vivek Ranadive are kind of similar in a lot of ways. But kind of a just general question, Greg. Do you think there are owners out there and I think another question or the answer.
Just so you know, I don't think they're similar. Just so you know, if I can interrupt, I don't think they're similar in any way, shape, or form. I don't think there's only one similarity, and that is they both control their franchises as decision makers. But it stops right there. There are no similarities between Vivek Ranadive and Jerry Jones. None.
And the similarity that I'm kind of alluding to is: do you think that there are owners out there that just want to own a team that they don't really necessarily care about winning? They just want to make money. And I'm talking about the MLB, the NBA, the NHL. Obviously, if you're an owner, right, you have a lot of money, you have stakeholders, you have investors, but ultimately,
I would say no.
Money.
No. I would say no. I would say every owner wants to win. Deep down, they do want to win, and it's not just about making money. So, no, I don't agree with that.
Yeah. Well, so if Jerry Jones wants to win, why does he only have 3 or 4 playoff wins in the last 30 years?
Okay, but it's not like but he is trying to win. They just make the bad decisions over and over again. Here's the deal with Jerry Jones. First of all, he's accessible to the media. When's the last time you've heard Vivek Ranadive talk?
It's been a while.
Okay, like years. Number 2, Jerry Jones at least knows football. Like I would say that he played collegiate football. He knows football. He may not know it to the magnitude that he thinks he knows it, but at least he knows it. I will tell you that I've been involved with professional sports for a long time. And I can count on my left hand the number of people, okay? I would only need one hand that I've met in all of my years in the world of professional sports that knows less about pro sports than Vivek Ranadive. He has no understanding of professional sports, has no idea what he's talking about, and it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing.
And I would agree with you, Grant, that I feel like the majority of athletes, the majority of personnel, they want to win deep down. But when you're owner, I don't know. I don't know if Vivek Ranadive, just, just what I've heard, just what I've seen. But I just feel like this guy just kind of wants to make money and keep selling out seats, and as opposed to winning. Like, I don't know. It doesn't.
Well, they don't make
really
money, and
sense
he's not making money. He only makes money when he sells his shares, the valuation of the team. They're not making money. It's not like he's making money every year. They make money when they sell their shares. That's when they get their big payday.
Yeah, I understand. I totally understand. But like with shares, with high valuations, comes a, like, you need to have fans attending your games. And for the most part, Kings fans attend games.
Yes, very true. Very true. But I mean, you're in my opinion, you're forgetting a couple of real key parts here. I would never, again, there are no similarities between Jerry Jones and Vivek Ranadive. There are none other than one. They both are the owners of teams. That's it. That stops right there. Period.
For sure, Grant. For sure. Just curious. Thanks, man.
Dorian, how many football games you going to this year at Sac State?
I'm probably going to go to 2. I'm going to go to the alumni one, and I might go to the homecoming one. So I might go to 2, Grant. So you're more than welcome to come. I'm supposed to. There's the spring games this Saturday. I think I'm going to be able to make it to the spring game. But if you ever want to come, you and Rhino and everybody else are always invited. They usually get tickets to alumni. So if anybody ever wants to come, just let me know, and we'll roll to Sac State.
I appreciate it, buddy. You take care. Bye-bye now.
Oh, always. See ya.
Well, I can't think of anything worse than being invited to go to the Sac State spring game. I'm like, nope, I got to get caught up on my sleep. Enjoy.
Brutal.
How about that?
Man.
I'm going to go watch a Sacramento State spring game? Really?
Sac State spring game or Kings? Blazers?
I'll go out and watch Sac State baseball. They've always had good baseball. I'll go out and watch that. I'm not going out and watching the Sacramento State spring football game. Come on. But Dorian wasn't inviting me to the spring game. He was inviting me to the real games in September, which I will also pass, but thank you very much.
Do major Division I programs have a lot of people attend their spring games?
Oh, my gosh. I told you the story when I was playing lacrosse for the first time at the Horseshoe in Ohio State on a Saturday, and I walked out onto the field, and the Ohio State spring football game had just ended, and Art Schlichter, number 10, the quarterback for Ohio State, was in the end zone, and he was signing autographs for kids, and Art was a big-time college quarterback, and there were still, at that time, 35 or 40,000 people in the stands that had not yet left. So, yes, for a big-time program, yes. Big time, yes. Absolutely. Yep. By the way, they did not all stick around to watch the Bowling Green State University Falcons beat the Ohio State Buckeyes that day in lacrosse.
I can't believe the stadium pulled double duty that day.
Yes. Yeah, we were. I'll never forget the activity. When I went to warm up, I was like, wow, this is cool. It was great. Yes.
Pretty
5
cool.
goals that day, Ryan. I don't like to brag, but that was, I got going that day.
Look at you. Cool hand napes.
Yep. Absolutely. Freshman. Lighting the lamp 5 times, Rhino.
Is there a lamp?
They didn't have a lamp in lacrosse.
Yeah, I was going to say, does lacrosse have a lamp?
I did in my mind. Every time I scored, that light went on. Boom.
Love it.
Absolutely. Do it. All right. Man, I can't believe we're already at the final segment of the show. Yes.
We're going to wrap it up when we come back right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrude Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrude's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrude's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrude's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrude's, locally owned for more than 30 years. Gubruds.
Call the good dudes at Gabruds, Gubruds, Gabruds.com.
Are you thinking about getting out of market volatility or trying to make real money on your money in the bank? Tune into my show, Striking Gold, with me, Kenny Michaels.
Sunday mornings at 7 on Fox Sports Radio Sacramento.
Let me get personal here. Have you ever wiped with a piece of dry single-ply toilet paper and wondered, is this as good as it gets? Well, it's not. It gets a lot better than that. Right, Todd? Wouldn't you say that Dude Wipes gets a whole lot better?
Much better.
Thank you. So no matter the size of your mess from top to bottom, Dudes has you covered, confidently covered. They comfortably clean up what TP leaves behind. For no more maintenance wipes, no way. Irritation, not a chance. Time to make the trade of the season and switch from toilet paper to wet, extra-large Dude Wipes and start experiencing the confident clean of Dude Wipes. Made from 99% water and plant-sourced fibers, coming in a variety of scents and sensations like mint chill and shea butter to protect your end zone. Join the movement for cleaner movements and live in a skid-free zone. Available at Amazon and major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes, best clean, hands down.
The Go Country Pro Rodeo is back at the Go Country Fairgrounds in Auburn, May 15th through 17th. Professional bull and bronc riding, racing, and roping by the top cowboys and girls. Get tickets now at GoCountryProRodeo.com. Sponsored by Auburn Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Black Bear Diner, Green Acres at Isley's, GM Environmental, Foothills Motel, and Tito's Vodka. Get your tickets now at GoCountryProRodeo.com.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
At the Y, strength means being together. Swimming, dancing, learning, lifting, or volunteering, to name a few. 175 years later, there's still no place like this place. Get involved at your Y. Learn more at ymca.org.
By the way, during the break, I did find the picture of me getting out of the race car in my fire suit. How about that, Rhino?
It might be the most glorious picture I have ever seen. of you. I'm not kidding. Like,
come on now.
No, I'm serious. Like, let me set the stage. You've got young Napes with the navigator glasses on. He's in a fire suit. He's got one leg in the rig, the other leg outside, looking at the camera.
I had just taken off the helmet, put on my shades.
Looking at the camera. The fire suit is just a little unzipped. You've got the background of the track and the people in the stands. I'm telling you, Napes, that's a top 5 pick that you.
All right, I'm going to put that on X right now. Okay, for the people that are going to be
on X. It might be your most liked post you've ever posted. I'm not.
Oh my gosh!
You got to come up with a good caption for it, though.
Oh,
people are going to think it's AI. That's how good it is.
Wow. How about?
So good.
Oh my gosh. Memories, huh?
The only thing that's missing is a Marlboro Red out of your mouth. Holy moly.
Oh my gosh.
Did you put it on X?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now, you know?
Man. Oh my gosh.
That was great memories, boy. Yeah. I didn't crash either.
That is legendary. People don't realize, and I don't know if that track was, but the pitch of many of the tracks.
Oh, absolutely. That's the one thing I noticed immediately. The banks and the angle of the grade of the track. Absolutely.
Like when you watch Daytona and people are repairing the track, they're walking like uphill.
Yeah.
Trying to get to the place to repair.
Anyway, yeah, I just posted it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ricky Napier. What would your racing nickname be?
That's a great question. I'd have to think about that.
All right, I got to find this so I can repost it immediately.
Yeah.
What a pull.
Yeah. Can you, somebody, it's crazy. John wants to know if we can show the photo or send it to me. John, are you on X? I just posted it on X.
I might be able to get it up really quick.
All right, whatever. You whatever. Okay. Thank you. Let me update you on some of the scores going on with Detroit. A big start. They're outscoring Orlando early in the third, 13-3. And they've extended the lead 59-49. So showing some real life early third, the Pistons now lead by 10, 59-49. Philly, oh boy, they were down 1-0. They've scored 3 times. They lead Pittsburgh 3-1. Dallas, Minnesota, Anaheim, Edmonton in a little bit. The only game going on in baseball today, the Yankees are leading that team up north 4-0. That's the only game on the schedule. All right, 916-779-0929. By the way, you know I'm just kidding, right? There are a lot of games going on. The A's lost today as Seattle scores a run in the 9th to walk it off, and they win that game by the score of 5-4. So you look at the standings now in the American League West. The A's do have a successful trip up there. They are now 13-12. They've won 5 of their last 10. Seattle, meanwhile, 11-15. Texas is currently in first place, 12-11. One less game in the loss column, so they're technically they're 2 percentage points ahead of the A's. So that's the updated standings right now. In the NL West, the Padres and the Dodgers tied at 16-7. Giants now in 4th place at 10-13. Colorado can see them all at 9-15. All right. So Grant, Red Rocket, Napier. There you have it. That's what somebody put on our text line at 916-779-0929.
Look at that stud right there on the screen.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Couldn't be any better.
Wow. Ryan's got it up on our YouTube channel. Nice job, buddy, to put that up there.
That.
Yeah.
Dylan on the car.
Yeah.
Look at the colors matching perfectly. You've got the sunset yellow into the orange jumpsuit to match the hair, the aviators. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, that is gold. That is awesome.
All right. So, John, we put the picture up there for you. Oh my gosh. Wow. That was probably 1988, if I had to guess. Maybe 1989, or maybe in the early 90s, but it wouldn't have been too much past that, I don't think.
Don't you wish that you had that car to drive across the country when you came to Sacramento?
That would be pretty cool. I do, actually. Yes, I would have made it in a much faster time than 3 days.
Would have had the same air conditioning?
Yeah. would have been a little louder in the cockpit of the car. You think I would have gotten pulled over at all, or do you think I would have made it okay?
You might have gotten pulled over. Look at this, getting some reaction now.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. The same thing. Dorian says should be your profile pic. It is not AI. Like, Grant, who took that picture?
I don't know. I really have no idea.
They did a great job. Like, that could not have been. And look at the clouds in the background.
I know.
They're just perfect.
It really is. Yeah. Yeah. I look fit. I'm in good shape. I mean, all of it.
Oh my!
Yeah, it's not AI. No, that's one of my favorite photos. I'm glad I was able to find it for you.
I mean, that's great. So good. Go to Grant's YouTube page if you're not watching the simulcast at Grant Napear or go to his X page at Grant Napear.
Yeah.
Check this thing out.
Oh my gosh. Classic. And if you're not following us, please follow us, because we update all of our shows and everything else on our X page. So if you have not followed me, please do so at Grant Napear. That's Napear at Grant Napear. Man.
That mistake.
Thank you for putting that up there, Ryan.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Sharp looking.
And again, I didn't crash.
What was the top speed that you got to?
I can't even remember, but they just said to us when we took the car, because these were real cars, they go, listen, man, don't crash. They that's what they told us. They go, don't go overboard. Like, you have fun, but don't, you're not a professional racer. Don't try to crash. Don't crash the car.
How much training did you get?
None.
No,
they told us how to get in the car, and then, once we got in the car, they talked to us real briefly, and then we were off and running.
Stick shift, right?
Yeah.
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 It's amazing how the exterior of those cars are just so light and barely anything.
Yeah.
It's motor, chassis, and wheels.
Yeah, I remember putting the helmet on in there, and I'm like, wow, dude, well, let's do this. That was great. And then the other cool thing I did, I was in Springfield, Illinois, and they have one of the great tracks in the country there. And they used to have the motorcycle racing and then the sprint car racing. And we were allowed to race in a sprint car race. You get in the cage, those cars where it's on dirt, and that was so much fun. So I did a race back there in the mid 80s in Springfield, Illinois. And again, that's one of the great dirt tracks in the country.
That stuff's really big back in that part of the country.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. That's a trip going on one of those cars. That was unbelievable driving that car. That was amazing. Yeah.
Caged
Absolutely.
hatchback.
Huh?
A caged hatchback with a ton of power.
Yes. I've been pretty blessed. I've been really fortunate to be asked to participate in things that is nothing but fantasy land. And playing tennis with John McEnroe against Andre Agassi. Like, you don't get a chance to do that. I'm like, wow. Like, you're never going to say no to that. I don't even care if I would embarrass myself. So, which I did, by the way.
You hit a winner on Agassi,
I did against
right?
Andre Agassi. That was the worst, stupidest thing I've ever done. I was like, I'm not going to be able to get my racket on a serve the rest of the match. So
that must have been intimidating. Though, I mean,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
I don't even.
But I loved it because I got a real feel for what it would be like being in a real tennis match against one of the world's best players. So I actually, even though I was like, okay, I'm screwed, but at least I got you know what I mean? Like I got a real understanding of what that would be like. It would be it would be the equivalent if you could get up to bat against a major league pitcher. Or like we think we know what it's like, but you don't know what it's like. I don't know what it's like. Do you?
Nope. No idea. You're absolutely right. Yep. Absolutely.
And I will tell you, I now know what it's like to be in the NFL, only in the sense that I stood on the sideline for games at the Stick, Monday Night Football with the Giants and the 49ers. And I really mean that when you're on the sideline and you're that close to the action, you get a whole different perspective. Like it is a big time collision, crazy, you're going to get hurt sport. I really mean that. I'm not even that, and I was been going to NFL games for years, but I was never close to the field. When you're standing on the sideline of a real intense NFL game, there's really nothing like that. Even hockey. I mean, being against the glass on hockey is great, but standing on the sideline of a Monday Night Football game with the two best teams in football, that is a trip. That is an absolute trip. Yeah.
You probably wonder how they do it once in a lifetime, let alone 17 times in a season.
I'm with you. I don't know. I really don't. That was a very powerful, incredible, invigorating experience. I really mean that. That was one of the great experiences I ever had, was standing on the sideline of a Monday Night Football game with the Giants and the 49ers when they were two of the best teams with Hall of Famers on both lineups. Boy, how about the Pistons up 20 already? I guess
they really?
I guess they got their game going. Whatever was said at the halftime, about to let up 69-49. The Orlando Magic are being outscored, Ryan, 23-3 in the third quarter.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense with how many free throws they had about the pace of the game, right? Mm-hmm. So Orlando had 18 free throws in the first or attempts in the first half.
Yeah. The other great experience was going on a vintage or World War II bomber plane from Mather, and was able to go up in this beauty of a plane and experience what our servicemen went through in World War II, being in a plane of that magnitude. And that also was one of the great experiences that I've had. I've just sent you a picture of the bomber I was on, but like that was a trip too. And you being in the gun turrets and the nose of the aircraft and, up in the air, experiencing all of that.
Yeah.
That was a trip. And you don't even realize the interior of these planes and the gun turrets and everything else. Incredible. What an experience that was. That was a trip. By the way, the roof, they had the top of the roof on the plane was open. We could stick our head out while we were flying up there. Believe it or not.
How high up did you guys go?
Not that high. I'll send you a picture from the air. But sitting on the chair in front of the guns up on that bomber was incredible. All right, 72-49. Turn the lights out, both here on Fox Sports Sacramento and in Motown. That game is over. It's over. Say goodbye to the Magic. It's going back to the world of Disney, tied at a game apiece. Hey, we'll replay hour number 1 coming up next. Then in an hour from now, I'll be over on YouTube and X with my Open Forum Wednesday. Appreciate you. My thanks to Olden Polynese. For Ryan in Sacktown, Grant Napear saying so long. Tomorrow it's the NFL Draft. Excited for that. Have a good night. And thanks for listening to Fox Sports Sacramento. Bye-bye now.
Are you or do you know a veteran or a family in need of a heating or air conditioning unit? If so, go now to dasmechanical.org and nominate yourself or someone you know to receive one with installation being donated by our neighbors at